Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Truth Behind Illusion podcast. I'm staring weirdly at the camera because I forgot what episode number 41.
41.
The history of Yule. So we're gonna learn about, the biggest thing now in our climate is this war on Christmas.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know.
Remember that? I'm not gonna stop saying Merry Christmas. So go ahead.
All right.
That was never like the Rick and Morty. That was never not a thing.
Yeah. Well, it actually was a thing.
It was.
But
Everybody
it was
wanted
actually
to say happy
the
holidays.
Christians were stealing everyone else's holidays, and that's what we're going to learn about here today.
Yes,
And
this
then-
is the dark origins of some of the Christmas traditions that we have today.
Yeah.
Remember the Crusades?
Yeah. Remember those?
What was that about?
The Inquisition? Yeah.
If you guys are first time listening or if you're watching live, the chat is open. Come talk to us, type with us, say hi, say you're there.
Mhm.
A like and a share goes a long way. If you're listening to this back later on audio, take a screenshot of it and put it on your favorite social media platform and tag us at Truth Behind Illusion or Truth Behind Illusion Pod, and tell us what you liked or disliked or whatever about the episode. Any feedback's
Subscribe,
great.
Yeah.
You can subscribe.
Like it?
Brand new YouTube page is doing awful. So if you are listening as well and you could take a couple moments, head over to the YouTube page, give us a subscribe. It would help out tremendously. And also, if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, it has all of our other pages there too. So you can just kind of go through and give them all a little bit of love. It would help us out tremendously. Merch page is still up, so you can check out TeePublic, Teespring, and Redbubble for all your merch needs. Or head over to our website, IWEPnetwork.com. to follow us on all social media and to find anything you may need. We got some cool sticker ideas coming soon where it's going to be the logo with a little QR code. So when you see us out in the wild, you can scan it and it'll take you right to our link tree.
There we go.
Yeah.
Technology.
A lot of fun stuff there. Oh, wow. The first post
Whoa.
already. Oh, Forgotten General Blue. I haven't seen this guy in forever in the chat on our Twitch.
What a name. I have no idea who it is.
Blue is that TV show with the imaginary friends. You never seen that on Nickelodeon?
Mm.
It's an old cartoon.
Oh,
But he said the
No,
war on Christmas will not end until Christmas cease. Until Christmas songs cease their unprovoked occupation of November radio.
I
time.
agree. I also think once Christmas is over, turn the fucking music off.
Yeah, done.
It's over.
Yeah, I'm
Warriors
done
has
too.
it on until New Year's Day.
Nope.
That should be a crime.
It should be against the law.
I took my lights down on Sunday. Took them all down.
Oh, wow.
I said it's over.
Heidi.
I don't have that much to take down.
Heidi was trying to drive home listening on Christmas Day to Christmas music, and I was like, "It's officially over. We
Yeah.
The last family event is over. None of this."
Honestly, it's over for me at Christmas Eve night. Like
Really?
once we're done at my like little family get together.
we sound like
I'll
the
give
worst.
you. I'll give you Christmas Day. You can have till midnight on the 25th. Then was it 26th?
Heidi has
No
tried
more.
the entire Christmas season to get me whammed,
Mm-hmm.
to make me listen to that Wham Christmas song. She tried. It did not.
And then you won because
I won.
It's over.
I won.
It's awful. Most Christmas music is.
And it's terrible.
And this is what this is not to go on a
Well,
tangent. Not to go on a tangent.
Go.
The
go.
type of music that the songs are all different, right?
Yeah.
The people that listen to Christmas music do not listen to that type of music normally.
No.
If the songs were not about Christmas, they wouldn't like them. So as I can make a song and I could say I shit my pants for Christmas, people are like it's a nice song because it's about Christmas.
Can you write lyrics?
Yeah, I could. Any idiot can make a Christmas song.
You should make lyrics
Yeah.
to AI
Just-
shit
I-
my pants.
It's like it's the country music thing. Just mention the Christmas things people like: cookies, tree, lights, Santa's coming. It's easy. Anyway,
all right. So listen, that's our user our listener challenge. I want you, if you're musically talented, to make us a song and we will play it on the podcast. And
Christmas song.
and it has to be entitled
What was
I
that
shit
song?
my
Pomo.
pants for Christmas. If you can make that happen, that'd be
Oh my
fantastic.
goodness.
See, we're staying with the Christmas spirit here. Although I have my kryptonite. Yule.
I have my kryptonite.
Oh,
is
the
normal.
regular logo. I have the
Regular.
Christmas one with
Look at us.
the Fresno Nightcrawler and the Goblin.
The Goblins.
Yeah.
A great podcast. Go check
Yeah,
them out.
it
That'll
is.
probably be in the plugs later on.
And I've been talking with just a little bit on Twitter, Paranormally Zone. That was
Okay.
not me. I definitely
I muted
turned off, I
mine.
think. Is that you?
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's
Forgot
all
you were
right.
talking.
Anyway, and they were asking for suggestions. So I'm just talking a little bit. I said to do Clinton Road, and I said listen to them from the Jericho podcast. So then as soon as they reply again, I'm gonna say, hey, I have a podcast too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
They have a cool little show.
Our
It's two,
Clinton Road
it's two guys
one-
from Minnesota. They have a cool show.
Yeah, our Clinton Road one is did really well, and when I re-uploaded to Facebook,
Oh, good.
yeah, people like that one.
There's not many people cover it.
Yeah.
And there's so much there.
I actually never heard of it.
Oh,
so-
you would like
Oh,
it.
that was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was real good.
Yeah.
There's cryptids, there's ghosts,
There's
UFOs,
everything.
There's the
This
clan.
There's
This
the
highway has
clan.
Yeah.
this highway has the KKK,
Yeah.
aliens,
Druid,
druids,
yep.
ghost boys.
Wow.
A castle that.
Is there a portal there? Maybe.
Yes, there was portals in the bottom of the castle that reappears every Halloween.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How about
Is
that?
the Jersey Devil on that road?
It could be.
Everything.
The ghost truck.
The ghost truck of old man Jenkins who chases you down with a shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a supernatural episode I could think of.
Yeah. So definitely check that episode out. And if on Facebook too, we officially uploaded every single one of our back catalog episodes to Facebook. So you can go on Facebook or even YouTube and watch all of the old content if you want to watch. And Facebook does have that option to listen to podcasts on there as well.
Yes,
so I know on Twitch right now, Twitch only does the thing where you can only do a couple episodes and it kind of deletes itself. So if you do back catalog, go subscribe to us on any audio platform and that helps out. Also, Spotify just made a you can give a star system.
Yeah, you can rate and review.
You can rate and review on Spotify, so that would help. And if you're an Apple user, a review, a star and a review.
Yeah, you can just leave stars. You don't have to say anything if you want to.
Well, you can, and we'll read it on the show.
Yeah, but if you want to, yeah.
Be like, hey.
But, I mean, if you just like, I don't know what to type, then just type.
Be like, hey, fuckface.
Yeah.
Nice podcast.
Yeah. You suck.
Or you suck.
Yeah.
5 stars.
Give me $1, 5 stars. What?
Yeah, if I wasn't broke, I'd give $1. A lot of old TV channels used to play Christmas specials until like 6 a.m. on the 26th. A rare few specials aired until New Year's Day, but thankfully very few.
Good.
Is it New Year's Day a big Twilight Zone day? Like they play Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the one channel used to do it. Was
Yeah.
it the WR out of New York?
I'm not sure. I know
Someone that does like a honeymooners marathon.
Yeah.
There's a lot now. Like I know the AMC and stuff would play like The Godfather and stuff, all of them right in a row. I know, like in the Rockies, like it depends on what you're watching.
Yeah.
There's usually marathons of movies on. You just got to find them.
I'm actually going to pull up that article. I don't know much about it, so I'm kind of just winging it as we go here. Just a little bit of a show banter before we get into our topic. If my Facebook loads. So there is, I guess reports are out now. It's from comicbook.com, so take it with a grain of salt. But I guess it's being reported everywhere. I believe even Joe Rogan, I think I seen tweeted about it. Just because it's a supernatural thing. But what is that? Oh, someone put the cat thing up. I don't know who that was. Was that you? The Yule Cat?
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
That was
That
you?
was me.
Okay.
I was trying to
I didn't
promo
see
it.
it.
Yeah, it's me.
NASA hires dozens of religious leaders to study humanity's possibility reaction to new life on alien race. As the world's leading space exploration agency, NASA has spent quite a sizable amount of various missions throughout its decades and old history of the outfit. One of those missions are experiments. If you involved yourself in the constellation of 24 ideologians, NASA enlisted around the world at task at hand. To the task at hand, determine how many world's religions would, how would they react if they found out that life does exist? In fact, if there was aliens among the stars. So I guess NASA went on and did this whole research. There's not really much talks on how they handled it or what they said.
Okay.
Probably didn't handle it very well. But
Well, they might have. They have very
yeah. So that's
social,
that
civil,
was posted
civil,
today that
meeting.
NASA went and got 24 different religions from all over the world.
I hope
like,
they weren't all at the same time because that would just build
put them all in a room.
anywhere. Yeah,
I think that would just be
put them in the room and just let them talk about whatever they want.
Yeah. Just
What are you here for? No, I don't know. Just shut the door.
Who do you believe in?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. Actually, can we have that as a TV show? Can we put-
That on here I go again. But Supernatural, there's one episode in season 5 where all of the big like pagan members of the pagan community sit down and figure out how they can get rid of Lucifer from destroying the earth, because Lucifer's on a bender and like trying to kill everybody and have the apocalypse. But anyways, they're trying to stop the apocalypse, and it's like Kali Ma, it's Balder, it's like all the Odin's on there, like all the big round table of all the pagan like all fathers and goddesses and gods there, and they're all fighting amongst each other on what is bullshit. Oh, Odin, you're a son of a bitch and stuff. They're all like cursing each other. It's just great.
They're like, yeah, your god had sex with a 14-year-old girl.
Our God is a 14-year-old girl.
Well, your theory sucks. You think we're all on the back of a turtle. I can't remember what one.
Oh
that
my
is.
God,
That's like a Chinese one.
I'd love that. All like 24 ideologies just sit down and be
Mhm.
like, that's fucking stupid, man. Like, mine's stupid.
And
Have you heard your story?
Meanwhile, they were eating the people in the hotel
Nice.
as sacrifices.
I love it.
Jesus Christ.
Here it is.
Supernatural.
That's one of them.
Yeah. Huh.
All right. Well, let's get into the history of Yule, Kelly.
All right. The history of Yule, or the dark origins of Christmas, I like to call it too.
Ooh.
Since Yule is it's past due, but that's okay.
It's all right.
Also known as the winter solstice, usually on December 21st. It's the longest night of the year. At this time, many cultures and pantheons celebrate the return of their respective sun gods. So why would you celebrate a sun god and the longest night of the year, the coldest night of the year, is to welcome that warmth and that energy of growth and happiness back in. Because after December 21st, usually you kind of see it after Christmas that it stays lighter a little bit more each day.
Yeah.
You see the
So
return of that
sun god, you said. So
Yeah.
they're all
Helios.
they're all
in their
praising
respective.
the sun,
They're all praising the sun.
not the birth of the
Well,
sun.
that's how it crosses over. The
There you
birth
go.
of the sun, right?
The
So-
son of the sun.
There you go.
Yes.
Figuring it out.
So it kind of, that's how they kind of gel this in.
There's your first puzzle piece, kids,
Yeah.
kiddos.
That's your first puzzle piece.
Now, one of the things I was reading is that the calendar changed at some point in time,
Mhm.
and then it fell on December 25th, and then when the calendars changed, it ended up going to like a January 7th.
Christmas.
Yeah,
There's
or the solstice, or the
Well, that's the
it's the Russian Christmas.
yeah, the Russian Orthodox Christmas.
The Russian
right?
Orthodox Christmas.
So some
is
people adopted
January
the new
7th.
calendar change where it moved to January,
Mhm.
and some people just kept it at December.
Right.
Mhm.
I think most of our not natural, but like everybody but the Orthodox Russians, the Russian Christmas people, they keep it, they celebrate it on the 7th.
Yeah.
We all kept December 25th. December 25th was actually, and I'll get to that. It's a celebration in the Roman ideology. It's the
Mm.
Saturnalia Sol Invictus.
So what you're saying is more than one culture celebrates holidays around this time.
Yeah.
So when you say happy
Shocking.
holidays,
Yeah.
you're just fucking,
Mhm.
not just assuming you're a
I
Christian.
think that was
Right.
the intended purpose of
Oh,
the
boy.
phrase.
That's
But
not a
people take it. You're trying to take away my holiday.
Trying to take away my
jobs.
Christmas. Yeah.
Oh wow, there's your second puzzle piece, kiddos.
Yeah. So some of the archetypes and some of the traditions you'll see here now, what I'm going to talk about, like the Icelantic giantess Gryla.
Mm.
She's a traditional figure in Iceland. She is often depicted as troll-like, ugly, or a big giantess, once very powerful witch and sorceress that would eat children.
Yeah.
So, and she actually has 13 children herself, 13 Yule lads. Some stories say that they're kids. Some people say they're trolls. So it's kind of on what story you're reading at that moment.
13, that's a spooky number.
Mhm.
Yeah. So and that kind of coincides with the 13 moons of the year too. But anyways, they would roam free on the night of Yule, December 21st, which is the longest night, the darkest night. And it's usually the most mischievous night for like all the spirits and the mischief spirits around too. They would roam free basically. And if they got into your house, if you were unprotected, if you didn't have a Yule log burning, basically, they would come in and cause mischief. They'd eat your food, either spoil your food, eat your food, knock your stuff over, knock your candles over. They would just kind of cause hell, basically.
Hopefully they didn't spoil your food and then eat it. Because
Yeah.
that's on them.
Then the only way to get
Jerks,
rid of
yeah.
these guys was to call their mom, call
Uh-oh.
Gryla. You had to summon Gryla.
With their bloody teeth.
ask her to take them away, take them home. It's like basically like calling your mom, come get your goddamn kids and take them home. But you would have to offer her like some sort of
One of your kids.
like food. You'd food, good mead, wine, that kind of stuff.
It does sound that
Kindling for a
bad.
fire, right?
But
But
might
back,
eat your children, but
yeah, but back then, for most people, that was a lot to give. To
Well,
give
yeah.
them some sort of food or some sort of wine that was in your cellar, because you had to think you were running low. You were kind of screwed for
yeah,
that.
and you have no radio or nothing.
So my
say, here's my
skepticism,
CD player.
my skepticism is automatically thinking like, what did they actually think was happening? That like, so
These are stories to scare kids, just kind of like Krampus.
Yeah.
okay,
You know that, yeah.
yeah, but I'm trying to think too, like if people
people-
legit believe, like, oh,
I'm
shit,
sure they
like,
did.
Yeah.
Like I stubbed my toe today. That must be the ghost of one of the, like I had all these bad things happen.
It's a Yule lad.
But they didn't
Yule
understand. I
lad.
mean, most
Yeah.
people couldn't read,
They scared kids with these stories to make them work, B, be good,
Yeah.
and
Keep 'em in
also
line.
and keep them in line, but also for their own fun and excitement too. And today people actually do like they how do I say this?
Do you
They-
think? Sorry to cut you.
they
Do you
praise
think the booze and wine and food was an excuse to get together and do all that this night? So
Oh yeah.
and then they're like, oh well, we're just summoning the old monster.
Right. Well, that's
Let's get
kinda-
fucked up.
Let's get fucked up is later on in the Saturnalia speech.
Yeah.
So that's where you guys can go off, because that's exactly what that is. That's where all of our gluttony and our drinking and getting drunk on Halloween on holidays
That too.
come from.
Yeah.
Getting the glutton, like all the drinks and stuff going. So
Fucking.
Every day's Christmas to me.
she also had, I'm gonna skip down. She also had her Yule Cat, and that's the picture I had posted in our that was her pet, was the Yule Cat.
Big
The
fat
candle
cat.
on the hat, big fat cat,
Yeah.
big, huge, gigantic cat with razor whiskers that would eat kids.
Like razor sharp claws and teeth aren't enough.
Yeah, he
you
got
need
razor
whiskers
whiskers
as well. So
Yeah.
that way, when they brush against you, they can also slice you up.
So
Yeah.
this was her pet also. This lady was a badass. I don't care what she looks like, if she's ugly or whatever, but she had
what's her name?
Grilla.
Gryla. Yeah.
Grylla.
Is it double L?
Is it double L or is it single L?
Single L.
Try single then, and then just try it.
Gryla.
Gryla.
If you ever watched in
Winter.
between Sabrina
Yeah.
seasons 2 and 3, there's a
But
special Christmas episode.
She is much prettier than what they paint her as.
But her
now.
kids are going wild, and she has
Yeah.
to come get them.
Yeah.
It's a very good episode. It's more like a movie. It's like I think it's slightly
And
over
it's
an hour.
one that you don't actually have to watch the rest of the season.
Yeah, you
to
just
get
You just have to know Sabrina's a witch, and
Mhm.
there's shenanigans, supernatural shenanigans
and
going
some
on.
Satanism going
Yeah.
on. So
There is throughout the whole show.
yeah.
They just have this online. I don't know if that's the
That's
kids.
the trolls. Yeah. So that's the Yule lads.
Fuck.
So that was a lot darker than it was before. Like in the older days, they would talk about them like hitting kids and trying, kind of like the Krampus thing. Now it has morphed into, oh, they'll take your candy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They kind of dumped it down.
It's gonna beat you to death and then eat you.
Right.
Everything's about fucking with kids. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like keeping the kids. in line.
Well, the kids were probably so fucking crazy back. They couldn't
Yeah.
watch TV. There was no TV.
No.
You know?
There's like
There was-
burning shit down.
Yeah.
There was work, and that was it.
Yeah.
Work. That was it. Work and maybe playing out in the yard and stuff. You got to think these are dark times. No electricity. Like this is where we're coming from with
Yeah.
this. This is where this
Fun for them
spawned.
is like when mom's not looking, you throw a rock at your brother.
Yeah.
Just bad shit.
Yeah, bad shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Hitting your-
Like when you're take like the world's worst people and you put them in a prison and you're like, how do we fucking rehabilitate them? Make them work every single day and
Yeah.
isolate them. That'll
that'll fix it up.
that'll straighten their minds
Yeah.
and then they just get more crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, her cat was her pet, and he would go around hunting kids that were out running around on Yule or the different nights of Yule, because there's multiple legends that Yule's one night, and then there's some people say Yule's like 12 nights long.
Ooh.
So if the kids were out running around and not being good, this cat would hunt them down and eat them, basically. And the only way you could get rid of, and this is where getting new clothes comes from for Christmas. The only way you could escape this cat is if you had new clothes. Then it couldn't smell your scent, apparently, if you had new clothes.
Someone didn't understand how scent works.
Wash your
But-
ass and change your clothes.
Yeah.
So change the clothes, he wouldn't know who you were.
Does Grilla's cat have a name?
It's just Yule Cat.
Oh, just Yule Cat?
Yule Cat.
Yule, little Yule.
Yule Cat.
Yule Cat.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't get over the razor sharp
whiskers,
whiskers.
yep.
What the?
Giant cat with razor
You
whiskers.
already have claws and teeth. You don't need more razors.
Come on, how can a cat get more badass?
That's
than
like
some razor
90s
whiskers.
90s extreme when Batman got his back broken and Azrael had the suit, he had razor fucking fingers. I'm like, what? You're already Batman. You don't need razor fingers, and I'll punch you and then slice you in half.
Yeah. Razor kneecaps.
Yeah. Like, that was the 90s. Look up Adam X. That's the height of 90s extreme comics.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the thing you would do to try and get rid of them or prevent any of these things coming to you in Iceland or anywhere else really was having a Yule log. So the Yule log was usually of oak or ash because both of those tree spirits were very protective. The ash, I believe, is very protective and centered around the Fae too. They were found in nature, usually by the family leading up to the Yule season. So the whole family as a unit would go out and try and find this log for the Yule log. And then they would dress it up with different protective symbols, whether it was runes, evergreens, wine. Sometimes they would write their wishes for the next year and put on the log too. And different stories will tell you different things. So one story I had read, it should be lit the day before Yule. And then others that say the day of Yule. I always knew it as the night of Yule is when you light it. And you always light it underneath the last year's log remnants. So you would keep that log for a whole year. And then you would light the old log and then set the new log on top of that.
See, one of the things I read
Wouldn't
is
it be not catch fire though? Like that, especially back then.
depends, yeah.
Let's save that.
well,
Let's
that's why
burn that. It's cold.
you would go get it earlier
Yeah.
and set it in your house so it dries out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean the old.
He
one.
means the old one.
Yeah, the old
if
one.
the old
You know how-
one's charred, I guess you would just keep the char.
Yeah, just trying to.
Yeah.
So what I read is you take the log and you burn it till it's ash.
Mhm.
Then you would collect the ash.
Oh, and save
And then
that.
when the season would then change, you take the ash and put it over your field for good harvest.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a good idea too. Yeah.
yeah, that
That's
was one of
very
the things.
spell like.
Or what
Yeah.
they would also do too is they would take the Yule log and they'd put it on a bonfire, and then the bonfire would almost be like a summon or a thinning of the veil, almost like a seance, and then you would contact past family members and stuff, and that was
Ancestors.
your way to like
Yeah.
conjure spirits, and they would
Ooh.
bring you good luck and good harvests when the winter was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's another whole like. There's many theories about all this. So
Yeah.
there are probably two really good ones there.
So when you're singing those Christmas
Yeah, because
songs,
Yule log has like become a non. Like people
Yeah.
don't know about this stuff. That's
Yeah.
just that's just when you burn a fire. at
yeah, so
Christmas,
when
right?
you Christians are loving
Well,
those
most of them-
Boscov's Christmas
if you
things,
think
and,
most
and
of
it
us
says
don't
Yule
have-
log, you're summoning
Satan.
ghosts.
Most of us don't have fireplaces anymore.
No.
So what they do is they make
They put it on TV.
centerpieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put it on TV. They make centerpieces out of them. Like I made a centerpiece once over at the Tree
Yeah.
Life shop. And we done that once. My grandmother used to make them. I can remember them sitting on the table. They make too. Rodney would make, my old boss would make a Yule log cake, which was like a pumpkin roll, but it was chocolate and like a big whoopie pie, but it
Yeah.
was like a log.
I bet that's
And then you would
sweet.
eat it. Yeah. So that's a different.
Don't say that for next year.
Yeah,
No, that would be his Yule log.
Just
for
eat a little
everywhere.
bit next year. Just
Yeah.
put a little
So-
wrap it up and put it in the freezer.
Different.
I want that Yule log. I have a fireplace, but it was too warm to start a fire. Because then
Is it an actual fireplace or
Yeah.
is it a gas? Or...
no, it's a working fireplace.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You can burn shit in your house.
Yeah,
You can burn shit in his house.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom bought me some tools for Christmas for it, so I haven't done it yet because it's not cold enough to start
We
a
need to
fire.
get you
Because
a bearskin rug for in front of
I'd love to have a bearskin rug.
It will make your house
Even if-
smell sweet.
Yeah.
I will tell you that
What
because
the
my grandma.
The rug or the fire?
No, the fire.
Oh.
Your house will smell like sweetness. Like that's what it always
Ooh,
smelled like to me
sweet.
when I went in my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
They had the big stone fireplace there, and it would always have like that smell of fire, like sweet almost.
When people have the wood
and you can
chip
put different things in.
Yeah, when people have the
Mhm.
wood chip fireplaces in their house, I
Mhm.
always thought I always I like the smell of a wood chip burner in a house or over like a coal burner.
It does make that room really warm though, so I don't want to sit in a room where it's like 85 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I
Yeah.
haven't done it yet.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Next up, different how can I say this? Inspirations for Santa Claus.
Ooh.
The biggest inspirations for Santa Claus was Odin, and he was the All Father in the Norse pantheon.
And he had one eye,
He did have one eye.
and he has.
He
His
gave his-
horse had 8 legs.
Yes. Well, I'm going to get into that too, but he gave his one eye for knowledge
Yeah.
on Yggdrasil, the
And
tree of life.
and he had his 2 ravens. And now we're getting my territory.
Do you follow the Norse pantheon?
I know a lot of Norse and Greek and some Roman.
Some Roman.
Yeah, not that because it's kind of.
Well, how do you know that through comic books?
Comics and then from Hercules and Xena back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I had a Myth and Legends class in high school.
Oh, well, that was a cool class to have. I wish I would have had that.
Yeah, that was.
I would have
pretty-
aced that thing.
It was pretty cool. They even went into an African one and then another one.
Mhm.
I forget. I'm not gonna say. Oh, they remember he said Sumerian. We can't talk about that. I'm like, no, we should talk about.
Yeah, Sumeria was awesome. The Sumers were
Oh, Celtic. Celtic was the other one.
Celtic. Yeah, that's my forte there. But Odin, he was the All Father and a very big inspiration for Santa Claus, I would say. So Odin would ride his 8-legged horse Sleipnir, often watching and deciding who would perish or prosper during the winter season. The Vikings and other northern European peoples believed that Odin raced across the windy night skies, leading his pack of gods, elves, beasts, and ancestral spirits
Mm.
in the Great Hunt against the ice giants and the forces of darkness. So yes, he did have this horse, Sleipnir, had 8 legs.
Yeah.
So how many reindeer are in Santa's sleigh?
Is there 8?
I think there's
Wow,
8.
how about that?
Uh-oh.
I didn't.
So there's your crossover.
Yeah,
But Sleipnir was a horse. Do you know how he was made?
not
Do,
no,
do you know the theory or the legend behind that?
no.
So he was a son of Loki.
The horse?
The horse was a son of Loki.
Jesus Christ!
Now this is gonna get weird.
Oh, they all do.
So
Like how Aphrodite was born.
that was
Mhm.
anyways, that's a different topic for another podcast. We should do that, the Greek pantheon one day. but that would be like 2 or 3. But Sleipnir was the son of Loki. The way he was born was there was this man that came to Asgard that wanted to build a wall, like a fortress around Asgard. And all the gods.
going to be huge.
It was going to be huge. Yeah. There you go. You wanted to put your Trump jokes in, go for it.
Real quick. Sorry, Santar. All right, never mind. Not jokes. We're not.
I don't know where you're going.
I was watching the Ozzy, Jack, and Sharon show.
Oh my god, really?
And all they do is just sit on 3 chairs, and Jack just plays like Tosh.0, like video.
What the fuck is that, man?
And Ozzy
You sound like him.
hates that he's there.
This is what yo, Jack. It was just fucking videos, man.
This is fucking stupid. Like he just like, and they're like, here's a video of Bigfoot. It's a fucking monkey. And he just like, and Jack and Sharon are like, Ozzy, that's totally believable. And Jack's like,
Ozzy.
and Jack's just like, come on, Dad, believe. And Ozzy's like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like he hates the fact that he's in this chair doing this.
How old is
show.
he now?
Dude, he looks.
He has to be close to 7.
He fucking hates the fact he's doing it. And just Jack and Sharon and Ozzy sit in
Can't they
these
just
3
leave
chairs.
that man alone? Just
poor,
leave him go.
they're gonna keep cranking the dollars out of him until he doesn't run anymore.
It's just like Jack so bad wants to be in this paranormal world and do paranormal stuff and get access to all these cool locations and do all these things.
It's like, I'll just get my dad.
And they're just like, can your dad come? He's like, fuck, Dad, just sit in this chair. And his dad just like,
just do it for me, Dad. Do it for me.
This is the worst time of my life. Like, he just fucking, he hates the fact that he's there. And he's just like,
it's a fucking man in a suit, man.
It's literally what the whole show is. And then like at the very end, they're like, Dad, what do you have to plug? He's like, I want to go fuck out. Like, he's just like, can I get the fuck out of here? I forget what it's on, but it's entertaining. But yeah, I don't know where that.
It's what is it called? Ozzy and Jack, like.
Is that where they go places?
No, they don't even go any. They literally sit. It's literally
videos.
They sit in 3 chairs and watch videos.
Watch this.
And they love it.
Okay.
It was like being marathoned on this channel.
Wow.
And I was just like, I just felt bad for Ozzy. And Jack believes everything. Like something shoot across the sky, and they're like, Dad, this is a UFO, and he's like, it's a fucking meteorite. It's a fucking airplane. You see it blinking. And he's like, no, Dad, it's a UFO. He's like, just take me back to my fucking bed. Like he doesn't even, he hates
just
the
let
fact
that man go. Just let him go.
It's fucking
let him
great.
And all his dogs. They have all the dogs still. A shit ton of Pomeranians.
I'm probably dead by now. I mean, that was 2001.
Yeah.
So.
How many of those dogs are still alive?
I probably not.
Oh, he probably has a new set, don't you think?
The funniest. He's like, we have to get a dog. We don't have to get dogs on it. We just gotta wake up at 6 a.m. and open the fucking door.
Open the fucking.
That carpet is fucking 800 years old, and your dog just shit on it. Oh man, everyone hated on that reality show.
I liked it.
Ozzy just being the most real human being ever with a bunch of people who just love his money.
It's called Osborne's Want to Believe.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So they just sit around watching all this paranormal shit.
What channel is it on? Did it say?
It is on the Travel Channel.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, it was.
Is
tough.
it actually on the Travel Channel?
Yes.
On Discovery Plus that you can't see?
No, it was on live TV.
It might be on Discovery Plus, the app, but it's on the Travel Channel.
Okay.
It was a tough watch.
It was a tough watch.
It's not a tough watch. Anything with Ozzy, I can watch.
It was just you feel bad for him after a while because they're just like asking him, like he's just like, Dad, don't you believe this? He's like, no, I didn't believe the last 3 fucking things you showed me. He's just like keeps looking at his watch. He's like, fucking hell, get me out of here. All right, let's get back to you.
Yeah, Sleipnir. So Loki's son was born from this other horse that this guy brought to make this wall around Asgard. So this guy said, we can make a wall around Asgard, make it really fortified and protect it. And all the gods said, okay, yeah, well, what's it going to cost? And he said, well, I want Freya's hand in marriage. Ooh. And I want the sun and the moon. And they said, okay, yeah, go ahead. But you can only do it in 3 seasons. You can only do it the spring, the summer, and the fall. So if it isn't done by the winter, it's not complete. You don't get it. So the guy went to work. So he was actually a little stronger than normal. And he had a horse, a stallion there that was really strong and could do twice the work. So by the time the last day of autumn came around, he was set to finish the last day. And at the time, the gods got so pissed, they said to Loki, you need to do something here. You need to screw this guy's plan up because we're not giving him Freya. We're not giving him the sun and the moon.
Oh, is this where Loki turns into a horse?
He turns into a mare. Yeah. He turns into a mare and distracts that other stallion.
And he gets impregnated by the horse and has a kid.
has Sleipnir.
Yeah.
So he was technically the
Well-
mom, I guess. you
Well,
could
Loki is not is like a gender
yeah,
fluid.
he's gender fluid now.
Yeah, I thought wasn't he always?
I know, like they say back in some of the Eddas and stuff
Yeah,
that he
that-
was, and then
yeah.
he got changed to a male, and then
Because you never really know what
no.
Loki actually. He takes the form of a man.
Mhm.
Loki's a
But
frost giant.
Loki had a wife too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, Loki was like a brother to Odin,
yeah.
from
Well,
what I
just think, if
understand.
you're a female,
Mhm.
you technically are female, or you're gender fluid or whatever, and you want power, and you want like your best bet would be to be at like, especially in those times, women don't get power, don't get opportunities.
Well, actually, in the Norse pantheon, they did.
Did they?
They did. Yes, they could be earls. Like, well, that like in the human race, they were earls. If you ever watch Vikings, that's actually, and they went to war. They fought. They were generals. They were actually well respected.
Interesting.
What Scald? I have heard that witch shop in Jim Thorpe. They sell the Norse figurines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom got me Heimdall because I already had Thor
Oh, yeah.
and Odin and Scald.
Nice.
Hmm.
Oh, and that Ozzy show, the reason I brought that up in the first place, because we just went back to the wall thing. Ozzy you could just tell he gets bored halfway through, and then every time they're like, "Oh, it's huge," he just kept he's doing Trump
pissed.
impressions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole time he's just like huge. Oh, it's so
I
great."
can't do doing an impression.
It's really
That's
not.
one thing I can't.
It's like Ozzy just trying his best to do a Trump. So the whole time he's just making fun of Trump the whole time.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, so that was the only entertaining part about the show is Ozzy just doing Trump impressions. Like he would just derail the whole show and be like, huge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. All right, go ahead.
Well, then Odin would run across the sky with his 8-legged horse, which corresponds to 8 reindeer and Santa's sleigh. And Odin looked kind of like Santa, long white hair, long white beard. Would be giving gifts to people who were good to him and cursing people who weren't, basically. And he would do this with something called the Norse version of the Wild Hunt. So the Wild Hunt is different in different pantheons. My Wild Hunt in the Celtic pantheon is a little different from this. They say the Wild Hunt in the Norse pantheon was linked to winter storms and dangerous omens. While the Wild Hunt was on, those who provoked the ear of the gods could find themselves caught in bad luck and Odin's wrath, while those whom Odin favored received good fortune and gifts. Though the Wild Hunt could happen any winter's night, it was especially associated with the 12 nights of Yule. Santa crossing the night skies and his reindeer were the same imagery as Odin and the Wild Hunt, basically.
Now in
And that's at 12 nights.
Yeah.
too.
in
Mhm.
Germany, wasn't there like the father of winter or whatever? And
Yeah.
he resembled
Bob-
Santa
yes.
in a way. And he did the same thing where he went.
And there's so many crossovers with that too. There's like a Jack Frost version of it.
That's what it
There's
was, like a
the
Jack
Father
Frost.
Winter,
Yeah.
right?
And then he
there's
went around
Father
delivering
Time, yeah.
delivering gifts, and that's where
Yeah.
also he had the sidekick Krampus.
Right.
That was there.
Right.
And then
That's
people would dress up in
also-
like Santa costumes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We
And then
feel like
there's
the main god is always that long white bearded, long hair Zeus.
Yeah.
God, Odin. Like
Yeah.
they all kind of have that same
I know the Christian
look.
tie-in. You want me-
go ahead.
So the Christian tie-in is there was actually a Saint Nick,
Mhm.
and he kind of they used his likeness for the most part. I'm
Okay.
probably butchering this a little bit, but they
Paraphrase.
essentially used his likeness and then took the idea of the German old man winter
Mhm.
thing, and then this, because Saint Nick never went around and delivered gifts to people. He was
Mhm.
just but he was a Christian figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they kind of infused Saint Nick with this father of winter, a
To
father,
make
a
it
father, yeah.
magical, yeah.
Yeah.
And then took some stuff from like the everything else. and
He
kinda-
gave gifts too because he didn't have any children and he loved children. So he made
yeah, he did give gifts, but like it wasn't like he went door to door.
No.
Like, yeah, he was a very giving saint. Like I guess like he would give gifts to kids
Mhm.
and stuff. But then they're like, well, fuck, we don't really have anything cool,
We don't have a cool god.
and yeah, we don't have these cool stories.
Straight up a nerve thing.
Yeah.
So they actually
Just
took like an
mold it
actual saint,
Yeah.
Saint Nick, and then kind of morphed him into this supernatural, almost figurish
Yeah.
thing to make Christianity have their own version of Santa Claus, and well, that essentially
Yeah.
became Santa Claus, and then commercialized it and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. My next thing here I'm going to go through is the Legend of the Mistletoe. So the Legend of the Mistletoe is another Norse thing. You'd find a lot when you research this. A lot of Yule stuff and Christmas stuff comes from the Norse pantheon.
Yeah.
Really.
All this is just very European. Everything
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
is like Scotland had their own version.
Mhm.
Ireland, the Russians, the
Mhm.
Germans, the Italians, They
And
did.
Italians had a witch,
Yeah.
actually, Befana, I think her name was, and she would go for January 7th too. So
Yeah.
like she would deliver gifts on January 7th, but she actually ties into the Christianity part. Don't quote me on this. I read a little bit on her, but I wasn't interested in her, so I kind of tossed it to the side.
Yeah. There's way more just like every other topic we do on this show. There's so much
There's
more you
so
can.
much more.
We're just kind of scratching
Yeah.
the surface. If you want to
Yeah.
dig deeper, you can. But there's a lot to it, and there was a good chunk of American history where when we first came over here and it was settled, and the Christians kind of came over and made it a big thing to turn the United States or what would then be the United States into that main religion, even though they all came here for religious freedom.
Yeah.
Like a lot, like Christmas wasn't even celebrated for a long time because it wasn't even really it wasn't like a Christian thing.
Mhm.
And then the reason Christianity, like the reason Christmas kind of, or the idea of Christmas came back is when all of the Irish settlers start coming over. They started bringing back all of that tradition and start doing it. And then it was like, we can commercialize this and kind of turn it into
I'm
something.
gonna take your traditions, but you can't work here.
Yeah,
Right.
we're gonna take your traditions, but also the Irish were doing it was a party. They drank,
Yes.
and we'll get into the other activities they would do. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
We
Well,
got
anything with an Irish person or Irish like just Irish in
We-
general.
we
It's just
gotta-
party, man.
we got to shake our fist
Party.
at this
Oh,
and change it up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, party and sing. And
We gave them Christmas and they wanted us to skip the whiskey.
They got rid of our orgies.
I don't. Did the Irish have orgies?
yeah.
I don't know if the Irish did. This was Roman. That was a Roman thing.
What was-
Romans were
For
badass.
some reason, I don't want to see an Irish orgy. I just don't.
Red hair everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason.
You don't like redheads?
No, I don't know the idea of an Irish orgy for some reason. When I think of attractive nationalities, Irish isn't at the top of the list. That's what I'll say.
Really?
Yeah, not the top
There's
of the
some
list.
hot Irish.
See,
I'm sure. Well, there's hot
from
every.
what-
There's hot
From
every.
what you say, I would think you would like that because it's dark hair or red
Yes.
hair.
Yeah.
Dark hair is all.
Yeah, I know.
Irish.
I know. Like,
like
very
black-
dark. Yeah, black.
Like Tony. Tony has beautiful Irish hair.
Yeah.
Beautiful coal black long Irish hair.
And I
But
get
Every
okay.
time my mom watches this, my mom, she's always like, he has like the perfect Irish hair. He even has the perfect Irish hairline. I'm like, oh God.
The problem is I also have the Italian, so I get out of the shower and 13 minutes after I get out of the shower, my hair looks greasy again already.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my Irish in there.
Yeah.
My Italian. I hate when you go to a website and it's just not.
Well, let me tell you
Yeah, go ahead.
the Balder situation here.
Ooh,
The North,
Balder.
yeah, it's the Norse god Balder. So he was believed to be the most beautiful of all the Norse gods, and he was the favorite among his mother Frigg.
He's also the last
Frigg.
boss.
Frigg.
Frigg.
Yeah,
F-R-I-G-G.
Yeah, double G. He's
Frigg.
the last boss.
Fun
in,
fact: if you type in Irish Yule orgy,
Yeah.
your first thing is gonna be a porn site. Just
well, yeah, type, but don't put orgy into it.
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
You know, I think anytime you type orgy on the
Yeah,
internet,
it's gonna come up.
you're gonna get porn.
Yes.
Baldur is the last boss in the God of War game for PlayStation.
Okay.
So Balder, he was the deity of the sun, and it was his mom's favorite. His mom was Frigg. His mom was the matron or the goddess of marriage and fertility, wife of Odin. He was the favorite of her, and he had dreamed of his own death. And after telling his mother this, his mom, being a good mom, went to everything on the earth and said to it, like made them swear every plant, rock, every living creature, everything on the earth to make an oath that they would never harm Balder. But Loki, being the jackass that he is, apparently, or the trickster god that he is, and jealous, went and made a new plant called the mistletoe. And therefore, there's different theories on this one, too, that the mistletoe got thrown at him and it pierced his heart and killed him. Killed Balder. So
Frigg.
Mama Frigg went to every other god on the pantheon, on the seat there up in Asgard, and summoned them to bring Balder back to life. And he did. So for her thankfulness, she kissed every one of them.
Aw.
And they made the mistletoe swear that it would never do anything unkindly again. And she had the charge of making the mistletoe something good. So that was her thing. So if you were ever underneath the mistletoe, you had to share a gesture of kindness in a kiss.
Or Frigg.
Okay.
Frigg.
He just pull out a
Frigg-
Frigg statue.
Frigg is the term you were allowed to say instead of fuck when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Frigg
this
off.
is a kissing ball. It's a theory or a like a play on mistletoe. There was actually fake
cup the
mistletoe.
ball.
I've never seen
Huh?
one like that. I've never. But mistletoe, where does it not even grow? Like I don't
in trees.
Really?
So it doesn't grow from like the ground.
I just thought it was
So it's like
I thought it was
it's like a moss type
like if
thing.
you just pluck this off.
So it's
you're
like a parasite.
Yeah, it's kind of
Kind
like
of.
like a mossy thing. It
Yeah.
grows within the trees. Yeah, so people make kissing balls like this. This was mine. This actually had fresh stuff on it years ago, and then I just went and put fake stuff on because it's easier.
Well, yeah, and it lasts longer.
Yeah, and then otherwise people would have the little sprigs of mistletoe over a doorway or something. That you would
That's
put
yeah.
to kiss.
I was always like the little.
So why
cute
did it go
pieces of
from
the
just
door
the mistletoe to an entire ball?
I don't know. There are some people that make the entire ball, and I've done that before too, out of evergreens and mistletoe.
Hmm.
So you would make this whole thing out of evergreen. And the evergreen was also sacred to Balder. That was his everlasting plant. So that was his like matron plant or whatever you want to say. He that's why you bring almost a tree into, or you decorate with evergreen because it's everlasting, just like the sun.
Unless you don't water it, then it'll burn your house
Oh
down.
yeah, but yeah, and it stinks too. A lot of times like cat piss, but
Then you get like pine needles all over too, or needles all over.
I fucking hate real trees.
I don't understand.
Did you
bringing
ever
real tree in the
have
house
them?
either. Yes, my mom.
I can remember.
What a hassle.
You get
I've
them
done it-
stuck in your stalks, your
we-
stalks, your
your
socks.
socks.
Oh, maybe
We done it many years in my household. My dad would always want a real tree, and my mom would complain, just get a fake one. Nope. Dad and me would go out and get a perfect real tree. We'd put it in the bucket with the sand and the water and everything. We'd stomp it out first and then nail it to the wall like we had a
so it
rope
don't
that
fall
would-
over. Yeah,
Yeah.
One fell over. My mom flipped out. I was like, oh god.
And you're both like you always come from a household that have cats in it?
No,
No?
No,
It's like
yeah.
don't cats always fuck with trees?
they can. Yeah, but some don't. Some just look at them.
Well, did you at least help her put it up? Put it back? up?
No,
No, I never.
I would help her physically put the tree up, and then she could do all the decorating.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. If it fell over, you would
Yeah,
help her at
yeah.
least.
I would never get into the whole like decorating it. Even as a kid,
Oh,
like,
I
I could
did.
care less.
I loved it.
I never gave a shit either. I like so some ornaments look better than that. Like I don't care.
Like I would walk
I
by someone's
loved
house
it.
and see all the lights. I'm like, that's cool. Like, would you ever do that? No, never. I would
Yeah,
never.
no,
hang.
I loved it. Like it was a process putting the lights on. Now I have a fake one, so you just plug it in and go. But you would put the lights on in like in a swirly pattern.
Mm.
They had to be like just right. So, and then we were all eclectic, so we had all different kind of ornaments and stuff on the tree, including my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ball.
There you go.
Yeah, we had our we had Disney ornaments for a while. Or I think Heidi has a set of Disney ornaments that she never puts up.
Wow.
I was waiting for her to chime
Them
in.
real old fashioned ones.
I switched now. Like so, I used to be very eclectic. Now I have a theme of like Yule or snow. Like so, I would go and get fake.
Do you
snow
spray
and
this? Just spray the.
No,
fake-
no, that's so messy. It comes off on everything.
And I can make the tree die sooner, which is the trees are kind of, but you know what I'm saying. Make
Yeah.
the needles fall.
What is your take on when you go see fake trees and you see the snow already on it, or an all white tree over rather a green tree?
That's
The
either
all
or.
white
That's
tree.
fine.
Ugh.
I would have. Well, if it's a,
Well, do you
if it's a
remember the-
display, I would have many.
Do you remember the trees from the 70s? Well, we weren't born yet, but the 70s trees, they were aluminum trees.
Yeah. My grandma had a
Yeah.
little one still, and then it
Yeah.
finally broke.
My science teacher in high school, she had one and she'd put it up in our class, and we would have to make the balls and stuff to go on it. She was I loved her, Mrs.
Keeps all the radiation away.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but she
Your
had the
conspiracy
aluminum
theory.
foil tree. It was like, that is nuts. Back in the 70s, that was a thing.
Put
you
that next
know?
to the TV. Get an extra couple channels.
Sparks and
It falls into like the electrical socket.
Yeah. So the next thing is your thing, the Saturnalia. So this is basically your pagan orgy.
Yeah, baby, let's
This-
get it.
This was in Rome. Now Romans were kind of badass. If you don't know Rome was
let's have a good time.
yeah, they were there to have a good time, but they were quite the fierce warriors and stuff too. So Saturnalia, this was a lawless drunken time in Rome where literally anything goes. It was okay. It was like the original Purge movie. So, you know, the Purge movie where all rules go out the window for a night or a day. I can't remember. Was it a night?
24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah. Oh, no,
So,
a night.
I think so. I thought it
Night.
was
12
24
hours.
Oh,
12
I don't
hours.
know.
12 hours.
I just thought the movie was
I think it
stupid.
came back to normal and like
Eight.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunrise. That's you're right. That's it. It's been a while since I've seen it. So yes, all rules go out the window. And this means what was it here?
War.
I love when people say like, "I fucking wish we had a purge." Like,
No.
No.
you would be dead.
You would be
13
dead.
Yeah.
minutes.
Just
For
those-
people who say that, you would be dead.
You're a giant pussy now. Could
Yeah.
you imagine no rules? Like,
they're the same people that said, "I wish the zombie apocalypse happened." You can't
No.
order a pizza.
yeah,
No,
So how would you
no.
survive?
I don't want any of those.
Yeah.
Dude,
Right.
the Purge.
I mean, I could take care of myself with the Purge. I will say that. I look like all
I would
love and
fucking
light
hide my
and
basement
happiness,
for 12
but
hours. I would
You
home
can
alone.
lock yourself away for 12 hours.
I would
You-
home alone my house.
I would home alone my house too, but I would also be prepared if somebody came in the door.
Yeah, if the Purge was a legit thing, I would buy guns, but I
Mhm.
wouldn't go out and fucking participate. Like
No.
I wouldn't leave my house.
No, that's
That's fucking the
asking for
worst
it.
idea.
Yeah, that's
The worst
asking
idea
for
is
it.
that movie. What does it solve?
It gets all the
In a
anger out of
kayfabe idea, what purpose does it serve? None.
Essentially,
Hey, everyone go nuts for a day, and then when we're all done, we're better. How?
it's population control.
Yeah.
Well, then just fucking drop a missile.
So the problem the
Boom,
premise
done.
the premise of the movie in their universe is after this purge would happen,
Mhm.
the rest of the year crime would be almost at zero.
That's not gonna happen.
But that in their
But
kayfabe
that's
world,
their
that's
movie. Yeah.
that was their.
You got to think the movie.
What if in the movie it does that? It's the crime still there.
I mean, realistically, it would be.
Yeah,
but in
but it
their
would
in
be
their
down.
universe, that was the
then
purpose.
that I guess has a purpose for Purge 2 because the crime's still there. So obviously we need.
There's
to
like 1,000 of them now.
I
So
know,
there's
there's a
like
bunch.
what,
I
like
just-
4
I
or
think it's so
5.
dumb.
The reason there's so many is it just tells a different story from somebody else, like a
Or
different
it's
perspective.
making money off
Yeah,
idiots.
I think it's a decent. I like the premise of it.
I
So
don't.
anybody who watches that movie is an idiot
Yeah,
in Andy's eyes.
it's stupid.
Krampus in the bag.
Yeah.
In the
Another
bag and gone.
another thing that happens a lot in that universe too is the rich would hire like mercenaries to go out and like contain poor people and homeless people, and then bring them all to like a warehouse, and then like they would all stand and watch and like watch people kill each other.
No.
So it was like entertainment for them for a day or
No.
Yeah.
And that helps crime. How?
I could never
doesn't.
watch.
It just-
I could
it
never
just-
watch the Hostel
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
for
I
some
would-
reason
it's like
either.
abuse of power essentially.
So
That
dumb.
hurt. That for some reason it just hurt watching that one.
I'm
And
gonna
I
stop
usually,
crying.
I usually like horror films, but Hostel I couldn't do. And if I had to watch that, like I watched the first one, Purge, with Ethan Hawke.
How many? I think it's like 4 hostels too. I don't remember seeing the first one.
No, I
God.
can't handle any of them.
Nah,
Eli
that's
Roth
a
made that.
pass.
No, I can remember the ending of the one where she chops his dick off and he
Why?
says, "Let him bleed." That's it.
That's a
But
horror
anyways,
movie.
well, this is kind of like that because that all of this was gone. Like you could do anything you really wanted. Laws were suspended for a brief stretch of time, and it served as a purpose of honoring the god Saturn, which was a Roman god of agriculture, liberation, and parties.
Mhm.
Was celebrated and is perhaps the most famous of the Roman festivals. It was a time of feasting, role reversals, free speech, gift giving, revelry, gender bending sex,
Whoa.
drinking, and telling people off, trading gifts, or doing whatever the hell
It
you
really
wanted.
was anything you could do at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
we made a joke
And
one
if you've
time.
ever watched Spartacus, did anybody ever watch Spartacus?
No.
Didn't the main character die like halfway through?
No.
And they recast him?
He finished out the first season,
He had
and then he
cancer or
had
something.
cancer
Yeah,
and passed.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
So then they done the second season. They done Gods and Legends or something. So they went prequel, and that was Lucy Lawless was in there.
Mhm.
They
She
went
gets
how?
naked.
Oh, she gets naked a lot. There's a lot of that's like porn basically too. That might be even worse than any HBO show I've seen. But
Really?
it's a good show. I love the first season, and then the third season they recast him, and that was actually a movie in the 50s too. Spartacus was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm
everybody's Spartacus. Yeah. So
Anyone that's seen it?
and the
knows.
guy who plays a
Charlton Heston.
a guy who plays a gladiator, and it was also Deathstroke in Arrow.
Okay.
Oh,
But not that's a different Deathstroke than movie Deathstroke.
Yeah.
I
That's
forget-
Joe Magliano. No, this
Yeah.
this is the guy that played it in the CW show.
Okay, I forget his name.
Side note. But yes, so anything basically you wanted, you could go and party, have sex, big orgies, drink. That's where our drinking and stuff comes in, that we drink and we eat and we like founder ourselves on our
Mhm.
food and stuff. That kind of is where that comes from. Another thing with this too that not a lot of people say, the slaves in Rome for this amount of time were almost freed. They could do anything they wanted, the same as the masters. The masters would actually have a dinner for them where the masters would serve them. But as soon as December 25th rolled around, it was back.
Unless the slaves rise up.
was what they would do is they would say, "All right, we're gonna serve you booze and have
Yeah,
a good
poison.
time,
Mhm.
and we're gonna do everything
Get
up."
whores,
And then
yeah.
as soon as the sun rises, hey, fuckface,
Yeah.
clean that shit up. Clean
Yeah.
up that last
Yep.
night's party
Yep, basically.
with your hangover
So that
and
was
herpes.
that was Saturnalia. So that's where all that kind of stems from when you hear drunken pagan orgies and stuff.
If
It's
we had a
from-
purge in school county,
Mm-hmm.
what laws? Like we're gonna family feud
there's-
this.
there's-
What top 10 laws would be broke? I don't think murder would be that high.
Oh, I do.
No, I don't. I think a lot of people talk shit, But I think when it comes down to literally taking a life, I think a lot of people would back the
Maybe.
fuck out.
Maybe like not like
think
stabbing someone, but like blowing a house up.
Yeah,
and then
I
people
think-
die that way.
Yeah, probably
I don't-
stealing
Or lighting a house on fire.
stealing
where you're
and
not-
like defacing other people's shit, like
Yeah,
destroying other people's
Still is
shit.
probably number one. Looting, like a riot.
You think so?
Probably have.
Yeah.
I don't think I think stealing and murder would not be as high as we think it would. I think we're giving I'm also maybe giving people too much credit.
Yeah.
But I definitely drinking related stuff would definitely go through the roof. Like fucking
I don't.
like drinking and driving fucking would be the worst night of the year.
It
They
is
would just,
already through the roof here.
yeah, but like now, we can go on booze cruises, not get fucking pulled over, bro. Like that, like
Yeah, but you couldn't go to the bar because I would think the bar would be closed.
the bars are open. Fucking no laws. Like Pennsylvania.
but
you,
would
Well,
you
then no
would-
laws, you could walk into the bar and drink all you want and then not pay them.
Yeah,
Just go-
or just come in
Yeah.
and kill them all. So why would you be open?
yeah, I don't think they. Well, they
I
would
wouldn't open.
obviously. They'd probably just
Yeah.
they'd board it up, but people would just probably drink all night. I just think they would be another reason they would just drink all night. What I think.
I think you give people too much. You see the light in people a
No,
lot.
I think they'd just go out and steal as much as they could.
I think I would think they'd loot
vandalize
and
yeah.
vandalize shit, and especially
if
if
it
you have
got
a
to the
neighbor
point- yeah.
that
What are we gonna steal in School County? Like go to
people's
Walmart?
cars, their
fucking
house,
cars,
yeah.
house, yeah, TV
You ever,
in the
you ever
house,
see when there's a
whatever.
riot and they steal everything out of Target? They're stealing towels.
Yeah.
It's just a steal.
It's just
It becomes a thing then.
Yes.
They don't just want to steal
So
like,
you like-
I would need TV. Let's just go and take everything.
It would be
Yeah.
like a drunk Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone come and take that glass. I need this. I want these pens. It's like, what are you gonna do? And then they just throw them.
Yeah, I think it'd be more of a party day than it would be a murder day. That's just my opinion.
No, I think it'd be a riot.
I think it would be riot. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm burning shit down.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, if those two guys are drunk, I'm not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a quad that I want, and they're real drunk and they're not paying attention. Oh.
Also around here, like
Like,
we do have a lot of like good old boys, right?
yeah.
And we're in a very red area. We're like right now, like we just
Okay. I thought
we're
communists.
yeah, close. Where everybody like we just had like a trial where a kid went and fucking defended a property and killed people, and he got off because he was defending himself. Like I think a lot of those people
I
would
totally
be like
missed this.
I don't know.
the kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, whatever thing was, where he went.
Well, that's not here. That was out in Minnesota.
What I'm saying is a lot of the people in this
Minnesota.
area are the ones who
Minnesota.
are saying like he was justified, it was okay. Like
Yeah.
so I think when it came down to like people trying to loot and steal, I think you would have the
Well,
people like defending that.
In that trial, though, the witnesses came up and said, "Yeah, I had a gun right in his face." You do realize that?
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying that I think the people who defended that in our area
Mhm.
are also the same people who I think would try to prevent people from trying to destroy businesses. and
that's
stuff.
their
Right.
own,
They're wrong.
not someone else's.
No, I think there'd be some good Samaritan.
I mean,
like
yeah,
he
there'd be
said, good
some,
old
but
boys trying to stop
There's
it.
good and evil.
I just think they would be sitting out front waiting for someone to try to like. I think that's where you would have your murder is would people be like, "I dare you to try to steal and ruin my
Yeah.
community" type deal, and we're gonna drink beers while we do it.
Okay, we're way off track here.
Yeah.
boys. But-
Sorry, the orgies and no laws. I was
Yeah,
I was spitballing ideas here. We got a lot of time to kill.
So,
Or it'd be a
yes.
35-minute
But if
episode.
you ever do get to watch that Spartacus, I think it's free on IMDb now with commercials. It was a Showtime show, and it really does give you a limelight of how the Romans actually lived, especially a pagan Roman era where the gods were really worshipped. If you didn't have rain, like they worshipped and worshipped, they had fights and would sacrifice people in the gladiator domes and stuff
Mhm.
just to get the rain to come. But
I always liked the idea of multiple gods rather than one god that has all the powers.
mhm.
The Assassin's
It's more
Creed
interesting.
game in Greece had a lot of that too. There was a lot of
What?
Spartans and Spartans versus Rome, and that mythology and all that stuff in that video game. The Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, okay. I never played
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, a lot of that's in there.
See, that's a game I'd like to play.
And actually, you hunt down like a secret society,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to find out who each leader of the cult is, or
Mhm.
well, it is a cult. Yeah. But-
Yeah. Well, anyways, after that was done, after the solstice, the darkest night of the year, the renewal of the light and the coming of the new year,
Mm.
also known as Sol Invictus in Rome.
Sol Invictus.
Sol
That's a thing in
Invictus.
comic books because I've heard it before.
Invictus is a wrestling company.
Yep. Invictus Pro.
Well, that's like forever victorious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what that means in Latin. Don't quote me on it, but I didn't learn Latin, but I think that's pretty damn sure what that is. It celebrated the birth of Mithra, on
Ooh.
December 25th, who was the unconquered sun god and worshipped in mystery religions throughout the Roman Empire. So this Mithra was like Jesus, basically. It was their version of Jesus. It was the sun god that they all worshipped for more warmth. And well, if you got to think too, Rome was a little warmer than most of the Eastern, like the Northern European countries and stuff too. But they worshipped this Mithra. There's many different stories about him, but this is how he got lumped into Christmas, or Christmas got lumped into his celebration. Was Pope Julius I chose December 25th to be Christ's birthday. It was commonly believed that the church chose this date in effort to adopt and absorb the traditions of the pagan Saturnalia festival and Sol Invictus festival. First called the Feast of the Nativity. So Christmas was first called the Feast of the Nativity. The custom spread throughout Egypt in 432 and England by the end of the 6th century.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
It was the Feast of the Nativity. No, it was one pope basically said, well, all these people are still celebrating this Saturnalia or the Sol Invictus. Might as well just throw Christ's birth right in with it and be done. Because Christ really wasn't born now.
It's more like a summertime, right?
Summertime type thing.
Yeah.
Some people say July. Some people I've seen were surmising
September.
Like
that's another one. I heard.
Something with the lambing season, because the shepherds being there, they're with their flock.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, didn't they also move his resurrection? They moved that date too.
I didn't know that one.
Really?
Because I guess the day of
just move all the goddamn days.
Like his resurrection coincides with the spring, like the springtime, and there's some type of pagan thing at that point in time.
It's Ostara. It's the rebirth.
Yeah, so
she's a Germanic goddess.
So they're like, well, rebirth, reborn, resurrection. Let's just put that
together. And
Jesus resurrects every different Sunday every year,
every 1,000 years.
She's the reason why you see a rabbit in Easter time too. What does rabbit have to do with Easter?
That's what I always thought.
Yeah,
doesn't have to do.
What does rabbit have to do with Easter? What does the egg have to do with Easter and Jesus?
Yeah, some pope was just like, Jesus resurrected the same day you guys were doing all your cool shit.
Yeah. So
we're done with it.
I'll branch off here and do the Ostara thing.
This book is right on everything, and we don't fall to a T. When's he born? We don't know that. They didn't write that down. Like what?
But then
that makes no sense.
But you could research another book that's pretty much says Pope John the second or third was just like, we're gonna move it here so we can coincide with everybody else's beliefs.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, but the how do we say in the book is not flawed.
Yeah. So the quick sidebar, the Ostara, the Germanic goddess there, and how you get a rabbit in Easter is that Ostara was a fertility goddess, and she also walked the woods though. So she had came across a baby bird that was his wings were broken.
Aww.
And she couldn't fix his wings, but in return she shapeshift him into a rabbit. So that's why you get the rabbit.
So you should have the power of shape shifting to healing.
He was reborn into a rabbit. So
I can't heal you, but I can.
So that's the
change
rabbit,
what you are.
and that's why the rabbit lays eggs.
Oh, how about that?
Makes sense.
So would it birth a bird?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know. This is
clearly
a bird rabbit hybrid.
Chocolate
rabbit. Yeah.
A rabbit with wings or a bird with rabbit feet that would not help it at all.
You just have this poor bunny in the forest screaming.
Poor Thumper.
he shits out an egg, and it's a chocolate covered egg.
It's a chocolate.
We fucking figured it out.
Yeah,
it's a Cadbury.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's unfertilized in the middle. It's cream.
Mm-hmm.
We put it together.
So
you're welcome.
So some other things. The Christmas tree. Christmas tree comes from multiple pagan origins. Orgies. Jesus Christ.
Got her.
Yeah, multiple pagan origins. The Norse believed it to represent the sun god Balder, as I was saying before. His plants were well known as evergreens, and the Norse would honor him by bringing a branch or two into their. Notice they only brought a branch or two. They didn't chop down the whole damn tree.
Yeah, they didn't go nuts.
They didn't go crazy.
That's why Charlie Brown
into their home and welcoming the great blessings to the new year. Some Celtic mythology, I like this version better. Was said that people would bring evergreens into their home to keep the fae and the nature spirits that lived inside it safe on the longest, coldest night of the year. Ooh. So you would bring a branch or two in, and you would save the little bit of fae folk that might be there.
Oh,
That's my
What if you
favorite.
don't have any though?
So maybe a wreath is kind of like a mini ecosystem.
Well, the wreath is actually from Roman. So the Romans had wreaths for victory. So they
Yeah.
would think that the return of the sun is a victory. So that's how wreaths kind of came.
But there's
about.
like a U, right? Theirs weren't fully connected. Right?
Some of them,
Yeah.
no, some of them were fully connected. I think.
Oh,
But
okay.
like a wreath could be like a major ecosystem for the Fae during the winter.
Well, the protection.
Put a
Yeah.
lot in there.
Yeah.
Just a couple
There was
branches.
something I was reading today that was they made wreaths. Oh no, that was the Romery people would make wreaths of holly and sell around now.
We have a question from. So, what do you get from baby chicks at Tractor Supply?
Sam, seriously.
It's terribly inside. Baby chicks attract.
What is he saying?
Well, like for Easter, they always sell chicks at Tractor Supply.
Well, yeah, you know what happens to those chicks?
No.
They get,
They get eaten
yeah.
By what?
by people. Like that was a thing at Easter time, like in the 50s and stuff. When my mom was little, she tells me about this all the time. And
They go buy chicks and kill them.
They'd buy chicks and they would buy ducks, and my pap would raise them, and sooner or later they'd be missing here and there throughout the year.
I mean,
That's
is what it is.
that's what it was back then. I just can't stand the ducks. Like, oh man,
I
please
watched
don't
this.
eat a
I
duck.
watched this video of all these chicks in like this big steel pan, and they're all the cheep 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 cheep, and then just go, and they
God.
just get sucked into a grinder. Like it literally happens in a
What the hell would you get out of a chick? Like, let it grow into a chicken, then you get nothing.
Yeah.
It just grind them up. Like you don't even know. They're looking in their pan, and just the floor
I
drops
wonder
out.
why,
They're
like,
gone.
Is that what we're eating when we eat chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets.
Oh
Yeah.
God, no, not the pig slime.
Everything's just covered up. What else we got here? From the rabbit.
What?
It just says from the rabbit.
I know.
You put his two comments together.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's messing with me.
The rabbit makes the chick for
From the rabbit, because the rabbit, I said, would he lay an egg with the
Yeah.
bird?
Okay, moving on.
He's I like that. Sam, you're doing all right. I like comment sections help us. It makes the algorithm think that we're more important. So thank you. Keep commenting.
Algorithm.
So the Christmas ham was another one too. That comes from the Norse and the Germanic.
The
tradition.
Yule ham.
The Yule ham.
The Yule ham,
Yes.
the rum ham.
So
Rum ham.
the people in Yule, or Germanic and the Norse people, would go out and kill a wild boar, and that
Mm.
would be like their feast and their centerpiece on their feasting table in honor of where's the god's name here? Freyr, not Freya, but
Yeah.
Freya.
Ham.
Freyr
Way better than turkey.
was also a harvest god.
I
Yeah, ham's better than
say that
turkey.
ham does have a better flavor. Turkey is more bland.
I'll take it.
Ham's a little salty, so it gets a little.
Heidi's family always does a ham for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. Oh, it's fucking amazing.
No,
See,
my
we
mom-
do turkey for both. days.
Okay. Some people do. My mom made roast beef
Right.
this year.
I only like the dark meat.
Like sliced.
See,
beef.
we had a ham and a turkey, but Sam deep fries the turkey, which makes
Ooh.
it good.
I never had deep fried turkey.
Me
It's
either.
awesome.
They also have
It's so much better.
air deep fryers now. So you deep fry a whole turkey with no oil. I wanted to get one. They're still
Wow.
kind of expensive.
I always like those videos where people are deep frying turkeys and
Boom!
light their whole house on fire.
Down south.
No, we have the electric one. Yeah, but if you ever see those ones, yeah, they're like highly.
They're just like, check this
flammable.
out.
Well, yeah, because what they would do is drop the fucking frozen turkey, and
Yeah,
so when the heat, the frozen,
dumbasses.
it immediately
It
explodes.
pops,
Yeah.
Pops.
So yeah, that's how we got our Christmas ham, was through the Norse and Germanic people that would go out and hunt these wild boar and set it on their table as an offering to the god Freyr for harvest and for fruitful harvest the next year. This would be the centerpiece of the Yule feast. After that, boars were becoming domesticated then. So then kind of
Pet
turned
boar.
into pig, kind of turned into our pigs now. So that's why we have ham. That's one of the
But
things we
wild boar,
read
I've
about.
had
We have-
wild boar sausage. It's pretty good. It does taste a little bit different.
Was it
so.
really wild boar?
'cause they're not-
Did you know the person who hunted it?
It was at a brewery actually in Gettysburg, and they had on the menu it was like elk sausage,
Oh,
wild
yeah?
boar. Yeah, they had a couple different varieties. I'm like, "Look,
Wow.
let
And
me
where
try
was
it."
this?
Somewhere in it was, I think, that
ABC?
Battlefield. No,
No.
Battlefield Brew Works, something like that.
Okay.
It was an old barn that they turned into a brewery. and
Okay.
stuff, yeah, it was like
Huh.
an old Civil
Now,
War
wonder if
barn.
that's
When
still
they
there.
I don't know. It's
domesticated,
pretty good.
when they domesticated boars, they would cut their tusks off, right? And then essentially because over years and years and years of them being domesticated, they just never grew tusks because they didn't need them to defend themselves anymore. Is that kind of how we got?
I would imagine. I never really
Something-
looked into that.
Like that, but I think a boar and a pig are a little bit different. Kind of like
Mhm.
a panther and a leopard, not the same thing, but they're still cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how that came
Because
about.
It's like
to be honest.
people still hunt them to this day. Like I have a story when I was a little girl, they used to have hunts down our way, like a fenced in hunt though for rich people, basically.
Yeah, and
And
easy.
one
It's on easy mode.
It's easy mode. Is right. It's not a hunter's thing. And my dad.
You could like hand feed them. They hand feed them all year.
No,
And
they're still
walking
they're
up
still
like-
nasty, but they're penned in.
It's like, you get a gun and your hunting area is as big as a football field,
Right.
and the animal can't get out.
Well, one of them,
So-
one of these wild boars did escape one of these.
Oh,
hunts.
wow.
So I was actually out playing, and this was when I was a little girl. I was out
400
playing.
feet down.
And his name was
He
Bebop.
came into the field while I was trying to catch butterflies. That was one of my things.
Oh my
as a
God.
kid. And my dad, I'm like screaming for dad. I'm like, Dad, there's this weird pig here. He comes out and shoots it.
Right in front of you?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't care.
Oh,
you got to think where I came from.
Yeah.
As much as, and my dad's the ultimate. I will say he's the ultimate outdoorsman.
Yeah, growing up
So-
in Monty City, if somebody would shot an animal in front of me, I would be that'd fuck me up.
He would have been
I'm
terrified.
like, what the fuck's
So
wrong with
this
you?
boar was out in the middle of the field. This thing was scary. It had the big tusks and everything to it, but that's where it came from. It came from one of those hunts that were penned in.
Interesting. Is that something that got shut down?
No, I think that still happens.
Did they?
Yeah.
Because then they
because
shut
you
down
gotta think-
the
Pigeon shoot.
the pigeon shoot.
Yeah.
No, the pigeon shoot got shut down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
What are they? What are the fucking animal people?
PETA.
PETA. And was it
PETA, they-
FEMA?
No.
It
PETA
was a female.
No, FEMA's disaster relief.
Yeah.
PETA is the
I'm
animal
standing in
welfare. They chained themselves to the Higgins intersection. They cemented themselves there that one year. Couldn't get to school that day.
FEMA is George Bush does not care about black people.
Oh, was that? Oh, yeah.
Remember when Kanye said that on with Mike Myers on Steam? Another side tangent. Sorry, just trying to kill time here. All right.
That's all right. But anyways, that is that. The other thing I was gonna to talk about too a little bit was the battle between the Oak King and the Holly King, and that's a Celtic tradition. So this kind of got morphed into regular Wicca. So there's two different stories for the different traditions. If you follow a Wiccan tradition, it's a little different. If you follow the natural pagan tradition, it's a little different. So like I said earlier, Celtic pagans have these tree spirits. So every different type of tree has a spirit, like an oak, an ash, an elder, a rowan, that kind of stuff, a maple. They all have different spirits and different things that they associate with them with. So, but the kings are these two, the oak and the holly. So they're basically like brothers. One's the dark and one's the light, because in theory, everything has dark and light. You can't just have one without the other. So the oak,
Yin yang.
yes, the yin and yang. So this is like their version of that. The Oak King would rule from, what is it? No,
Is he the winter?
No, Oak King is in the traditional pagan tradition, they would fight on the Mabon and spring equinoxes. So the equinoxes, they would fight then, and then one would kick one off. So the Oak King will kick off the Holly King in the spring. And then he at the solstice is at the height of his power. So he's the one that represents the sun and the return of the sun, basically the coming of the sun.
So there's season changes. Is two mythical gods fighting.
Correct.
And the same one wins at the same time every year.
Yes, same thing.
It's like WrestleMania.
Mabon, the Holly King wins, and then now at Winter Solstice, he's at his height of his power. So that's why you always see in like some of your groups and stuff, if you do a lot of folklore stuff.
But if the Holly King really hurts him
I never heard of this.
and he doesn't see his shadow, does that mean he gets to rule a little longer?
Oh, Groundhog's Day has its own thing. I can get into that too. That's the Kalik, the Kaliak.
We can that could be another episode. We'll wait till
Scottish
Groundhog
Probably
Day.
could be.
Yeah.
The Kaliak, yeah.
Yeah.
That was all a different thing. And Bridget and stuff, the
That
St.
town's a
Bridget.
shithole. I just want to say we went through that. We went through that the day before Groundhog's Day. We're like, this town is not nice.
It's small.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Puxatawny.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
we went downtown.
Did you go see him?
No, because it was the day before.
Oh,
And we're like, wow, it's busy. What's going on? And I was like, I don't know. This is Groundhog thing. And I was like, it's February 1st. I'm like, oh.
Bill Murray's here.
so there's a whole thing with that too, with a crossover of paganism and the Groundhog's Day.
A lot of shit is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It cracks me up when you see like. I haven't really seen any this year, but like the past 3 or 4 years, I see them all the time on the internet where like a pastor or a youth or a Christian dude would walk into like a local mall and he'd be like, "Hey kids, Santa's not real. The whole idea of Christmas is about Christianity. Tell kids what Christmas is really about, the birth of Christ." And then like this one guy was just like,
Shut the fuck up.
he literally like everything we talked about in this episode. He was just like, "Hey, actually, dickhead, you
Yeah.
you stole everyone else's shit.
Yeah.
So technically, we'll see you.
Sit down and shut up.
We'll see you in the springtime
And
when your God was actually born."
Just what kids want instead of toys, the Bible.
Yeah, or a guy going and ruining it for
Yeah,
a
and
mall
telling-
full of kids.
and telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And not having fun. Yeah.
Could you imagine if like a bunch of people walked into a church and like, he wasn't really born this day.
Yeah.
Where's the orgy?
Yeah. Where's the orgy at?
Or everyone just comes into a church
Yeah.
and just start banging each other.
Oh my
I'll
god.
teach that church.
That'll teach them.
You'll go to that church,
And they'll be
right?
like, what about the kids? You're like, what about the kids at the
Fuck
mall
the
that day?
kids.
What about the kids at the mall that day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But yeah, that's always entertaining to me when they go to malls and just like
Yeah.
ruining entire kids. I think if I have children, I'm never going to. But if I were, I don't know if I would do the Santa thing.
I wouldn't. I would
I
say
don't
I would
know.
explain
I
the
didn't
whole
like
the whole
Santa.
shebang.
There's not many pictures with me with Santa when I was little. I have a ton of Easter Bunny pictures because I like the bunny, even if it looked evil and miserable. I guess I like the bunny, but I didn't like the guy.
Yeah, I mean,
It does seem a little weird. I mean, you don't know who's under there. I mean,
Heidi.
it could be anybody.
come here
No.
quick.
So that's why I don't like that. Like you're putting your
Yeah.
kids on a stranger's
A
lap.
stranger's
It could be a
lap.
pervert. Yes, it could be a great guy.
pedophile. Yeah.
Yeah, but it could also be a pedophile. I think it's weird. So I would
This is
I would
coming from the
explain-
man who played an Easter bunny.
Yeah,
so-
I would explain to the kids
Heidi.
what it is and tell
Come
them
here quick.
she's busy.
She's not busy.
She's busy doing shit.
She's not busy. Come here quick.
I'm not coming over there.
Why?
Because
She's not
Just
camera
come here.
ready. She's not camera ready.
Just come
Yeah.
sit down. You're fine. Come here with your Chucky finisher shirt and my pants.
Yeah,
She's
she's busy.
eating.
See,
What do you need
If
from
we
her?
had children, would you do the Santa thing, or would you be okay with them not learning about that? Because I know you're still really into Christmas.
I don't know. I like Christmas, but I don't remember ever believing in Santa.
you could still enjoy Christmas and not have
Yeah.
the children.
Could you just be like,
do
hey, there's
Santa.
here's like I would I'll have my kids aware of Santa and be like, hey, this is the mythology of it.
Don't spoil it for other kids.
Yeah, don't spoil like listen, Batman is Bruce Wayne type deal. Like you're kind of in on it. You know what I mean? Like
I don't remember ever knowing. Like I don't remember believing in Santa. My mom always said you have to go through your toys and get rid of stuff you don't play with, or you don't get new ones.
yeah, I like
That's
that idea, too.
awful.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
not
giving
really.
away old stuff to get new stuff.
No,
See, and then I was
Yeah.
bad. I was bad. I snooped.
That is awful.
I found them all.
Hey, we know you got issues 1 through 10, but if you want 10,
that's the
11
collector.
through
That's the
20,
You gotta
collector.
give
you
them
got to
up.
get rid of 1 through 10. Go
Like,
fuck
old
yourself.
toys that I don't play with, like get them, donate them. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff I
but
don't
she's
use.
not talking comic books either.
Right.
She's talking older.
I don't care. Get some kid. Here's your 5 Matchbox cards.
So did you keep every one of your toys as a kid? You never
Yes.
donate it? You never donate
no,
it.
you get
kept
rid of your
ev-
baby toys because
Yeah,
you know you
well,
don't want them.
see?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, okay, go up to one kid right now today
So you
and
didn't
say you have 5 action figures. If you want 5 more, you gotta get rid of them 5. See what they say.
Yeah, but they're the first action figures you ever got.
But what if you spin it to the kid?
Still, a lot of kids love
they're
their
like-
toys.
Here,
I
here's
would
the thing.
never ask a kid. I hate kids,
Yeah.
but I would never ask a kid to get rid of their toy to
But
get.
what
a
if
new
you
one.
spin it
That's
to a
awful.
kid where you're teaching kid a compassion and thinking of others, where you say, hey,
Fuck up.
Yeah.
well, hear me out.
Now that's terrible, Andy.
I
That is
have-
bad.
We're maybe not as fortunate as everybody else,
Mhm.
but we're fortunate enough that you have a chest full of toys upstairs that you're never
Yes.
going to play with them all.
Yeah.
Yours?
If you get a bunch of your stuff and we can donate them to children who may not have toys,
Yeah.
and then that kid then gets in the spirit of Christmas or the
Uh-huh.
spirit of giving and sharing and looking out for other people who may
I
not
don't go
have
to
it.
work so other kids that I don't take care of can have toys.
I understand that, but what you're doing is you're teaching.
Somebody else can go to work so those kids can have toys.
So if someone was down on their luck, you would help
Oh,
them.
Mr. Scrooge.
If I because I don't know them because
They're orphans.
you can't help everyone. Fuck the orphans.
But why do I need all these?
Is
toys
there
that I
no
don't
work
play
house?
with?
Fuck the
Houses.
orphans.
I didn't need a million toys in my house that I did not play.
Yeah.
with.
I go to work
But
for
I
me.
also saved
Sure.
for
I don't go to
money
work
from
for
We're
it.
other
not talking
people.
about work. We're talking about little kids, though.
Like you never had like a
That's why I never want to have a kid because what did that kid
well,
do
not even
to
just kids,
deserve it?
just humans in
Nothing.
general. You
well,
don't
you
have.
were once a kid.
I
What
know.
did you do to deserve it from your mom?
Nothing. I didn't deserve it.
Yeah, but
You can't hold that against me. I also couldn't read at one point.
I also usually
Are we,
shit my pants.
are we gonna hold that against me?
I don't want to hold anything against you. But
You
no, what
know?
I'm saying is it removed
I
age
love these debates. I do.
age aside. There's nothing
Yes.
about you that says like I would if I have something in plentiful, I wouldn't give half to somebody else.
If
to
you
help them
want
out.
to give it, rid of it.
Sure,
But
yeah,
if you don't have to because it's yours.
sure. Yeah, if a kid was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that," then
Yeah.
fine. Then you probably growing up,
My mom was also not mean. She wasn't like if
you
don't
it
get
wasn't
rid of
forced
anything,
upon
you're
her,
not
Yeah.
gonna-
but
like it was like a.
I've
if
never
you
heard
get rid of
that.
things-
And I think
See,
that's I think that's awful.
I didn't have that. I had the Christmas that probably every kid wanted, because my dad was young when he had me. He was like 25, 24. And he didn't have Christmas as a kid. So when he had Christmas, they got like goodies, like cookies,
Yeah.
and, like a homemade blanket.
Yeah, that's like the old
stuff.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So that's what he had. So when I had Christmas, I got everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And he lived through me.
Mhm.
So I had the Power Wheels. I had the,
I always wanted one of them.
I had the
wanted that so
I had
bad.
the Jeep. I had the Jeep.
Ugh.
Man, that's
I would have took
my
the
mom-
Barbie Jeep. I would have took anything.
yeah, Barbie Jeep. My mom was like, "Oh, don't you want the Barbie Jeep, honey?" I'm like, "No, I want that
Oh,
camouflage and the
you were
army
cool.
Jeep."
So you
If-
outgrew your Power Reels, right?
I
And
would,
you know,
I would have a fucking Power Wheels today if I had it.
I
you
still have
outgrow it.
mine,
You can't
so-
fit in it anymore.
It's
And
mine.
there's a kid down the
It's
street.
mine.
There's a
still
kid
have
down
it,
the street
so-
who would have that. You'd make his fucking day. You would never give your Power Wheels up.
I still want a Power Wheels now, and I'm almost 40.
I understand, but we're in this scenario.
So, no.
you cannot fit in your Power Wheels.
You can have
No,
mine.
I can't fit in the Power Wheels now, and I want one. I still want that Bigfoot Power Wheels. You were the coolest kid in the block. If you
Well, I
had
didn't have that one.
I had a fire truck.
I had the camouflage like
Yeah.
army one.
If-
I had the canteen.
I
and
would even
stuff on
settle
it.
for the one that had the pedals, and it was like a knockoff.
Not battery.
Mhm.
powered,
Yeah. I would. They were so awesome.
Yeah, so I was that kid. I got everything.
I'm
I
always
got the
somebody-
carousel horse. I got that. I got the pool table and everything. The Fisher Price pool table that flipped for ping pong.
Oh,
Yeah.
remember
kinda-
that?
kinda
Yeah.
remember that.
I had all the Masters of the Universe stuff, like the sword and the Skeletor
powered sword.
staff.
Yeah.
But that's because me and my dad would play like that. Like, and he never had that as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm
So-
trying to say is, I think for me, the reason I'm not super sold on the idea of Christmas is because the idea of what Christmas stands for is something I kind of do all year round anyway. Like how we're saying about giving her toys up and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like I don't have a lot, but if I have something that somebody else needs at that point,
Mhm.
I have no problem giving it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's like, and I'm not telling this story to fucking make myself sound cool or anything like that, but, and she can confirm it. Like I was out somewhere one time. It was a wrestling event, and someone walked in and just like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a ride to this place for medical reasons, and I can't get there. The bus leaves in a couple minutes. I just need money for the bus ticket, and then if another couple bucks so I can get from where the bus is going to drop me off to the location I need to be.
Right.
I have no money. Like, I'll sell you my shoes." The guy was literally like, "I have a pair of sneakers," and like he was like literally just like anything he could. He goes, "I'll sell you my jacket if it."
Mhm.
And I called her and I was just like, "Hey, I know we're kind of tight, but like, can I do like $80?" And
Mhm.
she's like, "What do you mean?" And everyone in the place was like, I all I got's $5. And I was like, "Yo, if you hang out here for 15 minutes, give me 1 minute." And I drove up to an ATM, took $80 out of our bank account, made sure she was cool with it first, and I just handed to him. And he was like,
That's what it's about.
are you fucking serious?"
In the
And I
end,
was like,
that's what
"Yeah."
it's about.
And to me, he could have went and did anything with that $80.
Yeah.
Maybe that story wasn't even fucking real.
Who knows?
But in
But
my
in
mind,
your mind, you did the right thing.
I put something positive out there.
Right.
And I think instead of just waiting for one time of the year to do that kind of things, I think more people should.
Mhm. Well, I stopped with all gifts. Other
Yeah.
than our Secret Santa here, I stopped with all gifts with all my people, because it's just not worth it in the end. I'm getting stupid stuff that I don't want.
Gift cards the way
You
to
know,
go.
And not even that. I'd rather spend time with somebody. The most important thing
Nah,
is time. Like
Depends on who they are.
I'm giving a gift card.
I like to spend time with people. That's the most important quality or commodity you have, really. It's not your money. It's not the things you have. It's the time you spend with other people.
Yeah, I can get behind that as well. Like, yeah, 100%. Is there anything that you've learned today, for any of us, that you would adapt into your Christmas or your Yule traditions going forward? Now that you've learned about it, and if you're listening along, you can comment if you would adapt any of these things, or has it opened your mind up more about the holidays and being more open-minded to other people's beliefs, because it's all kind of been morphed into one
Yes.
anyway.
It just
But,
gels into one.
Is there anything you kind of picked up that you're like, I'm into this more?
Not really.
No?
A lot of it's got a little too far out there. I don't do much anyway. I put the lights on the porch. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll buy people presents. I don't mind that because I know how to buy good presents.
Just don't
Not
ask
to
Andy
brag.
to get rid of any of his
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't
Don't
have my stuff. So I can get more. Get the fuck out of it. That is asinine. That is so dumb.
I want to adopt not bringing a full tree in. I want to do.
I'm full of that. Yeah, like
Yes.
the
The
what,
branches.
Yeah.
Yes, much
Did you
easier to
ever see-
clean. Oh, wonderful.
and you can buy a fake one
Did
and
you-
just pull it out of the
Yeah,
box.
And then you put on a nice little plaque and put
Yeah.
lights on the plaque or something.
Fuck
you
the
know?
Fae. If
Yeah.
they can live there all year round.
Did you ever see Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas? Where
No.
They go and get the.
I don't even know what you just said.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I was gonna say I
Oh.
don't. What?
My God, that's
Wait,
like
a
that.
jug band of Christmas.
That's a Muppet. Yeah, that's a Muppet Jim Henson production. That was
Ah.
an seen on TV. I have it on TV.
Emmett Otter.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
I've never heard of it.
It's
never heard of it.
basically the gift of the Magi, what we were talking about for our
Okay.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Like giving up something else for somebody else. Or for presents, like giving up. He ends up putting a hole in his mom's wash tub, which that's the way they made money. And she ended up hawking his tool chest to get a new dress or something so they could sing in this talent show. She could sing in the talent show.
Sounds like a
He could
Wonderful
have,
Life.
yeah, he could have the jug band, and they were both trying to win this for money for the mom to have a piano and Emmett to have a guitar. And they end up losing, but then in the end, it gets good to get a job anyway at a restaurant. Anyway, long story.
And they never play it.
Singing at the restaurant. As
The
a jug
best part
band.
takes off and they don't play instruments ever again.
They quit their whole dreams. of
But
playing.
it's the gift
And
of
they
the
wash
Magi. But
dishes.
it's Jim Henson, so it's like little fuzzy Muppets going around, and then you have
This-
yeah,
This
you
Yule
have-
candle
you
is
have to
starting
look
to
it
burn
out.
the cinnamon stick, and it smells really good.
I
Yeah.
can't smell. I'm still stuffed up. I'm stuffed up all
Um,
year.
All right. Well, anything else to wrap up Yule?
one other thing I wanted to put in different New Year's resolution, New Year's folklore or legends behind that, especially one for around our area, the Cole region area, was burning a bayberry candle on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, like my grandma used to do that when I'd have to find
Yes.
bayberry
So,
candles. Calm.
What's the saying here? I have it up.
And then the pork and sauerkraut. Do you know what that's about?
Yes, I do. I can
Good
talk on
luck or
that.
something.
Yeah.
And I remember one time
For-
someone said,
So the
It's for
bayberry
good luck
candle.
and wealth, like to get more money this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you that in a minute. The bayberry candle is, yes, it's for good luck and wealth. A bayberry candle burnt to the socket brings food to the larder and gold to the pocket. So bayberry candles back in the day, they were hard to get. They were expensive. They were hard to make because of the waxy film they are, and they burn longer. So most people would wait for holidays or special occasions to burn them. So in the metaphysical properties too of the actual herb of bayberry is good fortune. So when you were to burn them, you would burn them like I burnt mine on Christmas. I do Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I burned it at 6:00, and it has to go out by itself. You cannot blow it out. It has to burn down by itself
Yeah.
and just end.
so my grandma put it in
And
the
it ha-
bathtub. So that way if it fell over,
Yes.
no fire.
Yes. And it has to burn until the new year a little bit. So, or past 12:00 a little bit. So you have to let it burn down to the
They do
socket.
smell good.
the Bay
yeah,
Bay
yeah.
candles.
Yeah.
They're usually like a dark
Bayberry.
green.
It's all about the
Yeah,
boom.
dark green or an olive green, depending on what maker you have. Mine are a little darker this year.
I wonder if this
papers.
is that what this is? It's green.
No, probably
No.
not.
Um,
It usually would say bayberry.
It's gonna smell like cinnamon right now
No.
because it's burning that cinnamon stick. That was made by Nikki.
They would advertise it
I'm
as
too stuffed
bayberry
up.
because that's a very big thing around.
yeah, I don't
us.
think she used paper. That's just a warning for.
Yeah, it's bayberry is a big thing for around our area. So yes, so that's what you would want to do to bring, and that would bring good fortune and more money into your life.
Who
Burning
doesn't want
big-
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's big around our Cole region area. The pork and sauerkraut thing is you don't want to eat chicken. So you don't want to eat chicken or anything that scratches backwards. So that'd be like repeating the last year. So think about a chicken. Chicken goes
Mhm.
like this, scratches, right? Scratches the dirt behind them. So eating that chicken is like representing you want to repeat the last year.
But wouldn't pig?
No, pig snoots forward.
But when
Don't
they
clip me
also
doing that.
do this
No,
with the
it-
feet.
It snoots forward.
I know.
Or
I get that
fish.
with their
Or
with the-
fish. Fish can't swim backwards.
No, but I
they
mean,
swim forward. So
the
you would
pig,
eat
the pig can
pork or-
snout, but I mean, I think they would kind of still do this too.
If they're
Well,
gonna
that-
charge you.
it's the
Let's
thing.
find out. Let's. Do you imagine there was like this guy was like, I'm so brilliant because he thought the idea. There's somebody like me and said, no, I think the pig does that too.
Yeah.
And they shot him.
The pig, the pig is it
Yeah.
does this one is gonna charge forward.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Well, that's the old time theory is it snoots forward with its snoot.
Which it does.
you know,
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
true.
forward.
Very true.
So, and the fish swims forward. So you'd want to eat fish or you'd want to
Oh,
eat
see, I never
pork
heard of eating the
Yes.
fish on.
because you
but,
want to go forward. You don't want to repeat the last
Well,
year.
is there anything wrong with eating shrimp? Because that's a big thing too.
I don't know how shrimp actually like.
I don't know how
swim,
that-
So
dude, I don't like sauerkraut that much,
Yeah.
No.
and so I just
you don't like
I'm not
fermented?
that big on. It's okay.
yeah, it's too vinegary and like
I know what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't eat fish, so usually every New Year everyone's like, you want to come? I'm like, I'm not gonna eat any of that.
Yeah. I like some.
As I eat a big chicken
I like
sandwich.
fish. I don't know. I was raised to eat everything.
Yeah.
So eat that or eat grass.
Well,
I got
Christmas Eve for us is you're not allowed to have anything red on the table. That's like a Italian
Really?
thing.
Yeah.
No red meat, no red sauce, no red.
Now why?
Don't the Italians have the Feast of the Seven Fishes or
something
whatever?
like that. Yeah. So you either get in our house for my parents' house or for my dad's. Like my dad's been doing it because his mom has been doing it since she's a kid. But there's fish, there's fish, there's shrimp, there's like angel hair or linguine, and then if you don't like fish or shrimp, we make pierogies.
No,
but there's no red sauce on the table.
That's what
like
pierogies.
No ketchup, no like no red wine, like no nothing.
That's okay.
Nothing red on the table. No no red meat, no nothing. It's like an Italian thing.
But I wonder why, like
I'm
what
not
that
sure.
represents.
I don't know.
And then Christmas Day is no holds barred. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know what the red.
I never grew up
when
with
I think
any of
red. I
those
think
things.
vitality and like vitality. I think root chakra types.
If you're listening and you just know, let me know.
Yeah.
Well, so
it's
this
interesting.
This is our last episode going into season 4. So this is the end of season 3. Or I'm sorry, it's not the end of season. It's the end of season 1. We're going into season 2. This is the only show that's not. All the other shows are in the season 4. This is season 2 for us.
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna do. So the other shows we used to do it where it ended.
Been to the jail twice.
Yep.
In one season.
So what happened was we instead of ending it during, because we started the episode we started this in November.
Okay.
Instead of waiting till the end of the year.
Okay.
I said we're gonna go one calendar year.
But then we went over one.
We did, but instead of doing it like that year and then saying
just go with it, Andy.
Yeah. So if we would if we would have hit the year anniversary of this show, the old way we would have done it is that's the season 2 starts.
Okay.
The way I kind of changed it for the show, instead of doing it by the calendar year of the show's birth, we're doing it at the end of the year. So when we adapted that, this kind of fell into a little bit longer of a period. So we took a break from the 3 shows for a while. So the end of this year for all shows enter the new season. So every show is entering season 4. This one's entering season 2.
So then a year will be a season then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is season 2 coming up this year. It's been a cool ride. We did take a little break here and there because my work hours changed and things. It was hard to record.
This happens.
So we do plan to keep this going and keep growing and keep going, doing some fun things. If you have any topics you want to hear us do for the next year, let us
Shout
know.
them out.
If there's any locations you want us to go to, let us know. Maybe we can try to get into some of those locations. If you yourself are suffering from or the Ghostbuster line is, if you have a spooky house, we'll come. We'll film at your house. You can tell us the spooky stories, and we'll set up in your living room, and maybe something cool will happen. And one of us will get hit with like a fucking a frame picture or a cross or something.
Not me. I'll be protected. Don't worry
She'll
about
have
that.
stabbed.
I
said that.
She'll have crystals all over.
Bring it
Crystals
on.
all over. Sage going. Yeah.
If you want to come on as a guest, if you have a fun topic that you want to present or talk about,
Our story.
you can. The door is open for us. If you go to,
like a Bigfoot. There used to be so many Bigfoot hunter clubs like in Pennsylvania. I don't know of any.
There is a paranormal team that possibly is going to come
great.
on next year.
Yeah, cool. I know. I always still want to say great. I feel like I'm being sarcastic, but no, you'd be great.
The door's open. We would love to have some people on to come talk some things. We'll be doing some on location things at the Tree of Life, not just for this show, but for the entire network. There may be a new location that we'll be filming some episodes from that won't be this kitchen anymore.
Oh, wow.
We may have a studio space coming up. May or may not. We'll see how it plays out. But that's something to look forward to soon. So we may have to travel a little further to record episodes. Not too much further, but it won't be Frackville anymore behind the scenes. So that's something to look forward to, hopefully very soon. A lot of cool things we have planned for the new year. We're excited. We want to thank you guys for supporting us this entire year. We've done a lot of really cool things. We want to thank Nikolai for being part of the show for a while, Tori, Bree, and also Heidi. She was on the show for a short period of time. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Support the network and go check out our future beginnings that we're going to be doing. The Patreon's there. You can grab some merchandise, but that's pretty much my closing. Do you have any New Year's resolution podcast wise?
Yeah, New Year's intentions. Don't say resolutions.
Do you have any New Year's intentions for yourself
and
or for
wait,
the podcast?
And
what does that mean?
You word it your way, and then I'll tell you how to word it, because this is another thing with New Year's resolutions. Oh, I hope, I wish. I don't say that. You need to say it as if you already have it to actually do it.
There you go.
So,
So
go ahead.
So set a goal for the podcast and then set a goal for your personal.
Oh, well, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions.
Jesus.
Play along. I don't buy
along.
into it either. But
I don't. Hey,
do you have a goal or something you would want to speak into existence
It could be
that you
anything.
hope happens?
I have many goals. Most of them are not realistic.
Well, let's
So-
say one.
No.
a goal for the podcast.
I just want to be very successful. Many listeners and subscribers. I just want listeners. I don't care about their stuff. If we had like, let's say there's 1,000 listeners a month, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. So all right. So is that the goal? 1,000 listeners.
The goal is any listener.
Say it. We will have 1,000 listeners.
By the
my
end
God.
of season 2,
Yeah.
each
That's the way you
episode will
gotta-
have
you gotta-
1,000 plays.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta
Yeah, and I'll
speak
be
it
at
that way.
AEW holding the TNT title. Yeah.
You have to get it off Cody. First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Good
hold
luck on
forever.
that one.
Yeah.
So that's Andy's goal. Is 1,000 plays audio per episode.
Oh my God.
I like it. But realistically, when it comes to like
I just
video
say
and audio,
Yeah.
we're not close.
No.
Anything can happen.
No, like if you had imagine if you had 1,000 active listeners.
Yeah.
A month. That's really good.
Here's something I was, because I not obsessed, but I do a ton of research when it comes to like growth and how you
Mhm.
can do things and turn this into a business, right? A lot of people think you need 1 million subscribers or you need this or that. If you have 500 loyal people who
Mhm.
support your podcast, so imagine if 500 people did the $5 a month donation to
That's a
Patreon.
lot of money.
It's a lot of money. That right there can do leaps and bounds for this podcast.
Yeah.
If 500 people did and I'm just saying, like, if we got to those 500 listeners
Mhm.
and they each did $1 or $5, or they buy a t-shirt once a month, or like those small things that, like, to them, that's throwaway money that you just buy a cup of coffee that day. And for that, instead of buying a cup of coffee, you're throwing $5 into a Patreon for
Yeah.
us.
Like if 1,000 people gave $1, it's $1,000 a month.
Exactly.
Wow,
So
I'm sure it's tax.
a lot of people think that you need thousands and thousands of followers and subscribers to get there, but you just need like 100 or 200 loyal ones. So I'll say that's my goal. I want to bring in those loyal listeners to not just this show, but other shows on the network. And I'm not saying that I need you to spend money, but if you're one of those 200 who share, who like, who engage, who talk, that's huge to me. That's you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be one of those podcasts that, like, I don't know who my listeners are. I really want to make it a point to really engage with you and talk to you and learn about you, because that's the whole premise of this entire podcast network, is meeting new people. I didn't know her at the beginning of this year.
No.
You know what I mean? And now here we are, like, we're kind of, she's joining this business venture. Like, I didn't know Tori, I didn't know Bree, like everyone who came across this network, and there's still a friendship there. There's still a connection. Like, even though they're not at the table, it doesn't mean anything different. Like, it's just like, I've met so many people because of this, and I want to know who people who are listening. I want to engage. I love meeting new people. I mean, Sam's in the chat still. I just walk up to random people on the street and start talking to them.
Boy,
You know what I mean?
I don't like meeting people.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. So
So yeah, I'm the anti-social. This is a big thing for me to actually sit here and do this.
Yeah.
So
I think that the thing I try to do is bringing people out of their shell,
Mhm.
and I
you
think
do a good job at that.
I think I do it very well with the podcast. I think I challenge not just myself, but others to step out of their comfort zones and try different things and have different experiences. Who would have thought we'd be fucking recording a podcast in the Jim Thorpe prison? You know what I mean? Like, and that's just a small thing. Like, not small, but that's one of many things that we can do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm grateful for it.
Memorable.
And it's now it's
I
become
guess
like an
it's memorial
anniversary
too,
thing,
but-
you know. But what about you? What is your goal?
Our goal, like for the podcast here, I would say to, like, kind of like, to go off of yours there, would be to have a more engaging community, like to be able to comment and like share some of our stuff.
Yeah.
At least have like 50 some people that share our stuff, comment on it, tell us what kind of topics they'd like to hear,
Mhm.
and that way I could go and do the research and bring up the topic.
Yeah,
You know?
we're wearing a t-shirt for a podcast that's not even ours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
Kryptonaut. And you go look at their community page, it's literally ran by fans. They don't
They don't really do anything there.
They don't
just
run it
go
at
and
all.
comment here and there.
We do have a fan page. It's technically ran by us right now, but
Yeah.
we would gladly give it to
Yeah.
people to kind of take the reins
Yeah.
and make it a fan page. And we built it, and you guys can take it over type deal. But their community is beautiful, man. They have a lot of fun. They like people have made friendships over that community.
I still want you to read your zodiacs, your horoscopes every day. Like every episode we're here.
Oh, so
I
still
forgot
want-
to ask my mom the
still want
time-
you to do
the
that.
time of my birth, but no,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, even if you just read your sun sign at this point,
okay.
Can- so-
but we have to read the one that
I think
happened
you're secretive and you don't want to know.
the day before.
But I can almost
no,
pinpoint.
I don't. I literally don't.
My
know
mom-
that.
Knowing how stingy you are, there has to be something in Scorpio for you, because you're just
But
nope. I'm not giving any of my toys away.
But I'm April.
Yeah, but there's got to be a Scorpio moon or a rising to you, I think,
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
because you're so.
My mom doesn't know when I was born. So she knows the day. That's it.
There's a birth certificate says the time.
Yeah,
right?
the birth certificate
Yeah.
would say the time.
We probably lost my birth
Yeah, I
certificate
know.
in the fire.
I know. My mom lost mine and paid again. Everyone because to get
Oh,
a workers thing.
I think she
Years
said I was
A
ago.
born.
workers thing?
I was definitely born at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
when I was
the night,
14.
and that boggles me from everything I've learned. If you were born at night, they say you're like the person behind the leader, or person behind the front that helps make things go. And
Yeah,
that's me because I was born at midnight.
But
I was born in the witching hour.
everything about me, if I feel like I have a flaw or I'm not good at something, I
Mhm.
challenge myself to overcome that.
Mhm.
So I have a weird personality.
Yeah. See, I would like to do a whole episode on that again. I know you've done it once, but
Well, here's
I
what
think it was a little subpar.
when we do, a lot of the stuff we were still trying to figure out.
Mhm.
I think I would do another episode of that, but I also
take
think
classes every month on it. So.
the beginning part of the show when we do our banter,
Mhm.
we can sneak that in every episode, like where we stand, and
Yeah.
if you want to do a zodiac thing.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think that would be funny because I could just see you two like.
I just think it's all fluff. I think
It's always you're gonna meet somebody.
you're gonna be so cool.
You're gonna be in love, and you're gonna run into money, and there's trouble
You're gonna
up
meet a
ahead.
You're gonna
you're
meet a
reading
big
the ones
booty
out of the
girl who's gonna-
newspaper. They're bullshit.
See, that's bullshit.
They're the ones out of the newspaper. You gotta
No,
read.
Have you ever read one that's just like you're a fucking piece of
Yeah.
shit?
I read ones where they say, "Yeah, you're gonna have like a bad day. You're
You
gonna
should
have
lie in
a
bed
rough month.
And
Like
cry
watch,
all day.
Why don't you grow up?
you're gonna have a rough month. Watch your money, basically.
Oh wow.
I've read ones like that too. Like
That's at least that's real.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not real,
Fuck
but
off your
like being real, it's not all sugarcoated.
yeah, it's not sugary. No.
That's
Are you might get in a fight with your partner if you have a loved one or something, or
Hey.
you might be down on yourself if you don't have one. Like I've read the good and bad ones. So
So there should be more bad ones, because that way, because
It's
if
realistic.
everything's
It's
always
real-
good,
yeah, if it's too sugar coated for you, you can't handle
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
it. Stinger.
I'm like, how about when they tried that 13th
Oh,
zodiac
that was
sign?
bullshit.
Ophiuchlium or whatever.
Yeah, he
It
was
would
like an
cha-
octopus.
It would have
Yeah.
changed
The hell
me.
with that. It would change me too.
I would have went to Aries.
yeah, I
I
think.
think I forget. It pushed it all.
Yeah,
I
I would
think I
tried-
would have went to Virgo.
I wouldn't have been a Sagittarius.
Yeah, they tried to do that and like
No.
it just didn't go over.
No,
I was like, that's weird. Like,
I mean, I'm a Leo, but I'm not the Leo you would think either, other than my hair. But I'm still not a freaking Virgo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I only have a Virgo and Venus, so and that kind of like cold fish like that, like kind of. I don't know. I have too much other stuff going on in my chart. I
You're
think
speaking Hebrew to us.
yeah. See, this is what I say. This is what I'm saying. I could go step by step and explain the houses, what's everything set in for you.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess
you need to know the birth time.
I've been
You need
so
to know
like
to have an accurate one, yeah.
I
To
gotta-
know
I
your
gotta-
houses and what your midhaven is and
I gotta
stuff.
ask
Yes.
my mom. So
I'm so of the person who's
And
been
you're
told his
descendant.
entire life that this is exactly this is your box, stay in it, and this is who you are, and this is your personality, and this is what you do. That if I hear his horoscope and it's like, don't do that, I'll be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna definitely do
Do
that
it.
now.
Yeah, you just done it to be the rebel.
I do it to prove that I can still do it.
Mhm.
It's not, I'm more or less not doing it to be a rebel. I'm doing
See,
it to say that I can.
With the astrology stuff, I actually do follow it. Like between my teacher, I'm on Patreon, and my teacher's her name is Teresa Reed, and she does Patreon classes for astrology every month. So I pay for those astrology classes, but she tells you like kind of how to navigate it. What does she always say? Something like, know your astrology, be aware, not scared, or something. Like when Mercury goes to retrograde, she'll tell you what to do, like back up all your computers and stuff. When Venus is in retrograde, like work on your relationships. When Jupiter just went back into Pisces, so now this is going to be like for a couple months of a big spiritual awakening for a lot of people. So it's more of a dreamer type thing, more of a dreamy attitude.
You know what I've been seeing a lot of? Maybe this is my
It's-
spiritual reality. I've been watching so many videos of people taking psychedelic drugs.
oh god,
Dude, I know I would not handle it well,
I would never
you
want to.
can't you can't take them unless
but a
there's a
part
lot-
of me wants to see what it's all about. I would not have a good time. I know I wouldn't have a
I
good time.
absolutely never want to do that.
No, the ayahuasca, in between ayahuasca and peyote, I guess
Like
is a little
ayahuasca,
easy.
peyote, mushrooms.
Yeah,
God.
peyote's a little easier, I think, than ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is the big kick in the ass. She's
That's the one
she's
Robin.
the mother.
Remember when Robin?
Mhm.
She's the mother, so she'll show you everything you need to see, whether it's light, dark, or whatever you need to
Mm.
get over. So if you have a lot of demons in your closet, she'll show them to you.
Yeah.
And you'll scare the shit out of you. That's what they say, at least. I've done a
watched
lot
the
of study
video.
on that too.
There's one guy I've been watching videos of where he just like takes psychedelics and then tells you what he's experiencing.
Yeah.
He literally watched the entire scene of when Doctor Strange gets he goes through the whole thing, and he's like, I'm telling you right now,
That's it.
everyone who does DMT or goes through those psychedelic trips goes through an experience and they come out, it's hard to tell you exactly what I experienced or what you're doing. And he goes, whoever filmed that scene
has done it,
did it the exact perfect way. He goes, from when he gets fucking launched and he starts wormholing, that's exactly how a DMT trip goes. That entire scene is a DMT
trip. Or even if you just do, if you're one of those people that could really ground in and meditate very good, you can access it that way too. Breath work, pranayama, like breathing really rapidly will give you the lightheadedness and will give you that.
He even said,
you can't have any kind of heart problems or anything.
No, thank you.
Either.
I hate being lightheaded.
He even said
lightheadedness, but and there's another plant too called buchu leaf, or oud. Even oud is another one that will soften
I would puke
you.
and shit all over myself.
It will soften you, and that's not something you eat. Buchu is you burn, like basically like weed. Like you burn it and you inhale it. And the first time I done that, I was knocked off my ass in my meditation room. I'm like laying there.
And most of these trips only last like a minute, but to you it feels like it
feels like forever.
Yeah.
And you'll puke your guts out from ayahuasca, especially if you don't eat right. You
puke and shit.
You have to be on the dieta.
That's why Robin said she had a bucket in the room.
Yeah. You have to be on the dieta. You have to eat so many like certain things. You can't eat anything fermented. You can't eat anything processed. You need to eat all fresh foods. You need to.
You'll come out crying.
And then like a week before, then you're down to like liquids, I believe.
What is positive about that?
Essentially, just to do the Doctor Strange analogy, as soon as he does it, he goes to this wormhole. And then when he comes back to the chair and he's like, "What the fuck was that?" And he goes, in a DMT trip, sometimes it's like it happened and you're like, "Oh, thank God it's over." And boom, you're shot out again. And he goes, because that literally happens to a lot of people. And then when you do the whole thing where the hands, or like when you see everything in fractal images, and then when people talk about seeing like an entity, that's usually towards the end of the trip where you see like this being that everyone sees, this certain being, and it scares the shit out of you and you think you're having a bad trip. And then you come out and then you come to the very end and you come crashing in and you wormhole back and then you wake up and you're just like, everything, like it's even though you only seen lights and colors and shapes and kaleidoscopes, there's more information.
Is that all we saw? Is that it?
Pretty much, essentially, that's what the scene was.
I see that when I meditate. So, like for me, I don't know what the hell I
would say. Probably it's different for.
But he said it's one of those things where it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain exactly what all you're taking in because most of it's so visual and so like you're on a roller coaster ride.
A lot of people say that you can see like the energy coming off of things. Like you could see off the crystal grid there. You would actually be able to see the energy flowing off of it. You'd be able to see the layer in between. I call it.
And most people, like most of the time when people come out of it, the first thing they say is like, everything that you've known about the world is different. Like Doctor Strange, where he's like, teach me more. Like he came out of that and everything, his world was turned upside down. And he was like, there's more to this, that essentially saying that the mind, we've only unlocked certain senses with our minds and more can be done. And that's why when people go through it, that's why they're willing to do it again, because it's like kind of like diving back into a rabbit hole for at least a minute just to maybe pull something else out that you didn't know you had.
They don't. Is their life really that much different after?
A lot of people,
it's not like
for some people,
like all of a sudden now they're
flips
a great guitar player. I don't.
Well, not just guitar player, but
that's an example. And now I'm better at talking to people. Like
because what it does is it can break down mental barriers that maybe you had put up for yourself.
Well, that might be the drug actually destroying brain cells.
Well, not so much the brain cells, but essentially you're letting go of frivolous things that shouldn't be bothering you, because now you're seen in a different light.
Right.
Well, what if you come out worse?
It's it's possible, but most people are it's majority of the people who come out
who don't do their shadow work, who don't do their skeletons in their closet, you might come out scared and even worse. It is a dangerous game a bit. Like I will say it is a little dangerous. It's illegal. It's actually illegal here. You cannot do it.
See the positives of it.
And you can't, and I don't think you can do peyote unless you're Native American, if you had any kind of Native American blood in you,
or you have to like go to their land to do it.
The stuff I inhale and do is like buchu leaf and oud and stuff. That it's not illegal, not yet. That an oud is like a tree sap. It comes from India. It's like a little.
There's a lady who was doing meditation classes at the Tree of Life. I always wanted to take her class because I want to learn how to meditate better.
Melanie, she's really good.
Yeah, we had a really cool conversation with her off camera. She was really fascinating.
Yeah, she is really good. But if you do like some of those things, they will help you meditate better too, because they ease your mind. They ease your.
I start meditating and then I fall asleep.
They
every
relax
time.
your nervous,
you're so relaxed.
Nervous system. Yeah.
I start meditating and then I just go to sleep and then I take like a nap.
Right. Yeah. when I do Reiki on people, that's what happened. I put them to sleep, and that's everybody. Everybody gets put to sleep by me, and they're all like, "Should have I done that?" I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly how you
I sleep
receive."
a lot, and a lot of times I confuse my sleep with depression. I think a lot of people when they go through depression, they sleep a lot.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Sometimes your body needs sleep.
for me, I take like a 15-20 minute or like an hour nap here and there, and like when I come back out of that, it's so there's different reasons why I think I do it. One, maybe it's depression. Two, it's my body pain. Like a lot of my every day-to-day life is just pretty much my adrenaline going, because when you're in pain, your adrenaline goes higher, and then eventually, like when I lay down, my body decompresses, because if I sit up too long or I stand or I walk, and then when I lay, I'm decompressed, and then my adrenaline lowers, and I just fall. I meditate and fall asleep. So I take a lot of naps. I think so.
I don't think that's a negative thing.
No, it is hard to get a sleep schedule, because
it's a negative thing. It's a negative thing if you are depressed and you keep sleeping. I've been through that cycle myself.
Because a lot of times too, when you go to a sleep,
sleeping and wishing something was different when you wake up.
Yeah, well, a sleep too, from what I was researching, is that when you're asleep, your body's actually healing itself in certain ways.
Yeah, it's almost like putting the phone on the charger.
Yeah,
you know, you're getting your energy back.
But your mind state coming out of your sleep you can't immediately go to that depressive, like you have to have, and I'm not saying that depression just like just don't be depressed, but a part of it is
a lot of
self-awareness. You have to be self-aware that I am depressed, and if you allow yourself to keep becoming depressed, you're going to keep doing it.
Right.
You have
a lot of people, when they go to sleep and they're depressed and like this, and I'm victim A number here, I'll tell you from experience. For me, like when I go to sleep and I'm sleeping a lot lately, like that's me kind of recharging my batteries, but I'm also living in a dream world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what a lot of people do. They live in a fantasy world almost.
Yeah. Well, that's where I kind of try to, in my mind, that's where I don't fall asleep and go into that world. That's where I meditate, put myself there.
I can charge my dreams like that. Like I can make my dream whatever I want it.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then when I'm in there,
and then sometimes if I don't do that, I end up astral traveling, and that's blows your mind too.
Yeah, I don't know if I do any of that. I essentially, like,
that's out of control.
Where I can see, like, for example, like one of the things I'll do is like, the podcast. I would love to get to a point where we like own a building, and like I could see like, we have like an office, and like you can, and then this is my dream, and it sounds stupid, but this is where I meditate to, because I want to manifest it. That's in my mind is what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Is it bullshit? Who knows? We'll figure it out. But my goal is I want to own this building where we all can and everyone can now quit their job, and this is our fucking, like, this we become a media company, essentially, like a Rooster Teeth, or like these. They're not huge major companies, but they're all working for that company.
Sustainable.
Yeah. And we can get to that point where all of us on the network are doing that, where this is our job now, because it's at that point, and I could just see us like in this meditation, like you're in your office working.
That's part of it, but then the other part of it is, like I told you before, it's how you speak. It's how you speak to each other, and how you speak to me, or how you speak to yourself. In the end, it's saying, instead of saying I wish, I want, or say I have. I have a studio. You have to be within that present moment of feeling like you already have.
My problem is one of the barriers I go through. This is so off topic. I'm sorry. At the end of the so we will get there. Is I was always told I was cocky, or I was overconfident, so it made me change the way I speak a lot. Where instead of saying like I want, I will have. It's just like, if it happens, it happens. But in my mind, I'm putting the work in to make sure it does happen. But when I outwardly speak of it, I don't want to come off as arrogant or cocky.
You can't think that way anymore. You got to actually speak it into existence. I was manifested a lot of different things by speaking it into existence.
I'm just
writing
into MJF. Like, I'm fucking better than you, and you know it.
It's
great podcast you have there.
Did you ever not see The Secret?
Yeah, I read it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But that's only it halfway. Like, you actually have to, when you dive deeper into The Secret, it's the 7 hermetic principles. And that's a whole other podcast, but you have to kind of abide by that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I fucking did not watch that movie for a long time, and then I watched it.
I've never seen the movie.
I was like, fuck,
I knew parts of it.
I knew I'd fucking fall into this.
It's awesome.
That's a good movie.
It's one of my favorites now since.
But I've read comic books. So read the one whole series.
Watch the movie. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
What do you got to plug, Andy?
There's no wrestling coming up. Not recently. Well, at the end of the month, 29th Backbreakers will be there.
Did you find anything else about that yet?
It's sold out.
No, it's sold out. So I don't know. They might because he's being a little funny with Corona because
That's
they had
Because last show,
yeah, and they had I
6 of
think
us
they
got
had
sick.
they had someone at the training center, I believe. So maybe I don't. They might only want
Yeah.
people there that have to be there.
And I'm not saying we got it from Backbreakers.
No, no.
The same 6 people who were at Backbreakers and also Sanctuary that weekend.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yep.
But then I was there.
I
I,
was at
didn't
Sa-
get sick.
And you
I
were
was
right.
at-
And you were
I-
right. You
so-
and Brian both
yeah.
didn't get sick.
Yeah.
I
so-
was at Sanctuary and I was right by. I rode in the car with you, and I was right by
It's
Pinhead the
weird.
whole time.
Yeah, you never know. You
Yeah.
never. So check out the Paranormally Zone on. It's a podcast on all your podcast
Okay.
available things. So
What is it? What, do they cover a little bit of everything? Or
Yeah, they talk about ghosts and shadow people and like UFOs, all the whole gamut of paranormal stuff. It was called Alternate Route Podcast, but now it's Paranormal Zone. It's 2 guys from Minnesota, and you could tell when they start
the
talking.
Golden Gophers.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I've been listening. They were actually on Jericho's podcast one time because Jericho always has the
Mhm.
paranormal people on
Yeah.
every now and then.
Mhm.
And
I used to love his conversations when Mox would be on about
Yeah.
because Mox is a big Sasquatch fan.
Yeah,
like
super,
he's a
yeah.
Sasquatch hunter.
So
Yeah.
every time he has people on, even when he has the wacky conspiracy people on,
Yeah.
it's a good episode.
Mhm.
It's entertaining. I love
He
hearing
had
that.
those people from that show on that. Oh man, I can't remember. He had him on the cruise too.
The guys that would like try to hawk this app, and he's like, if you watch these videos every day, you'll get the true understanding. You know, like
No, these guys were like actually paranormal investigators
Oh,
that would go
okay.
in and like do the history behind it.
oh, that's cool. I see. I like that.
Yeah.
like I don't
I
like when
can't
they
remember
like,
what it was called. My mom.
It's on it.
know.
Ghosts.
There's another
Ghosts.
podcast. He's big, so it's not really a plug. But it's called that Monsters Among Us podcast.
Yeah.
But the entire time he talks like this.
Coming
And
soon.
It gets a little grating when the whole show is like this.
Yeah, those scripted ones start.
I'm like,
talking-
oh, just
Like-
fucking talk normal.
No,
but he
don't
has
did you ever listen to Lore? I'm
No.
Aaron Mankey. And
Yeah.
This is Lore.
And she's like, and he goes through the door. It's like
Oh.
it's like listening to an audio.
I do
Yeah.
love Lore though. I love it.
like I
Yeah.
like he has people calling and they tell ghost stories, which I want to hear their stories.
lore and supernatural like that.
But don't put on that
I've
voice.
never seen the other one, Supernatural.
Yeah, it's they're all under the same podcast family.
Yeah.
Oh, are they all under
Yeah,
his
I
Grim
don't-
and Mild? Okay.
I don't know either. But then he was on. They like Ancient Aliens. They have the interview with Talking Head people. He was on there and he's like, "Yeah, I think the aliens. Look, you have a normal voice.
Yeah.
Talk like that.
Some people only listen to podcasts like that because they feel it's more professional. And like people like us, like fuck these guys.
I can't stand it. It
Yeah.
just goes through me. Like,
Mhm.
oh my god.
I don't know.
What do you got to
So
plug,
that's it.
Kelly?
I'm going to be starting up my distance Reiki again. No in-person Reiki for me for a while with Corona. But in-person or distance Reiki, I'm starting to take some appointments again because I was booked up all for December. So I'm going to start taking appointments for January now. If you're interested, it's $20 for 45 minutes. You get a crystal recommendation, prescription, and a little life coaching session.
And always with a
Nice.
happy ending. You'll leave happy every time.
But it's distance.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
you want
There,
to get dirty with that, then
Oh
it
my
would be like phone sex then.
I didn't get dirty. I said your experience at the
Happy-
end is going to be
Yeah, it's
happy.
happy.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Jeez.
you have to explain Reiki to me one time because I'm really not too sure on what it actually
We
is.
can do a show on
Yeah, not now. Not
Yeah.
In person, she gets this giant stick with these
It's a
fingers on
Reiki.
it.
She just
Yeah.
breaks on your
Yeah.
back.
I-
There you go.
I thought I was going to see one in person, and I was removed from the room.
Oh, well, it may be a
Yeah,
one-on-one
Yeah,
situation.
because here's the problem. I would have been trying to do Reiki on Heidi, poor Heidi, and you would have been like, "So what do you think of this?" So what do you
I would have
I'd
stayed
been
quiet
like,
the whole
I
time.
cannot channel when you're like that.
I would have stayed completely quiet.
I'm sure you wouldn't have.
And then you just hear
Not with your. Tony, I
just like
love
that-
you, but this is it.
you do that snaggletooth
Yes.
laugh.
Yeah,
I might
that's
have
what
done-
I would have heard.
There might have
And
been a few of those.
I need like actual peace.
Silence. Yeah, I understand that needs to be like
Yes.
a one-on-one.
Yes.
I was like, oh, cool.
Unless it was like you laying next to her, and I would have done her, and then I would have done you.
Oh my.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
Like a couple session.
Couple.
Could have done that.
You don't have to get naked, do you?
No.
Oh, I don't know how it works.
Can you get naked?
Can
you
get
wanted to, but
An ass naked Reiki session.
you could if you wanted to, I guess.
Like if have you ever had someone who didn't know what a Reiki session was and they just kind of you
Took
like
their
walk
pants off?
They're just like,
No.
what do
no,
I do now?
No.
I think if
Thank
you're
God,
going to
no.
a Reiki session, you probably have some idea of what it is.
I
would
don't.
hope.
I had some girls though come in with like sports bras and leggings on, so I done that.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know the rules.
whatever. It don't matter to me. It should be. You should you should have loose clothing on to let
Lo-
the energy flow.
Gray sweatpants.
Gray sweatpants.
Gray
I hate sweatpants. I think they're
I wear them around the house.
You don't even wear them around the house.
I don't
Like,
own a pair of sweatpants because
really?
I hate them.
I like them.
Because when
so
I was
you
a
wear
kid,
jeans everywhere.
when I was a kid, they gave me sweatpants. My mom and I wore them to school. I was like, I got fucking no pockets. I got no pockets, and I hated
Sweatpants
it.
have pockets.
What
Well,
about mesh shorts? Are you a
and
mesh
they're
shorts
just
guy?
baggy. Yeah, for the gym, that's about it.
Yeah.
And if it's really hot outside, but I like jean shorts and that material that's almost like jeans, but not really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Almost like
Well, they
jeans,
have
yeah.
jeggings where it's like a jogging pant.
Yeah, I seen those. Yeah, I don't. They probably. I don't know. I don't think they'd be too.
Do they have them for
durable.
men now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wear them all the time.
I forget where we fucking were.
Plugs.
Plugs. Yeah, so that's my plug. I also want to plug too something I forgot to say. Wait, if you do have a Christmas tree, wait until Russian Christmas is done to take the damn thing down because
No, take it
that's-
out right now. It's good.
It's bad luck if you do take it
Fuck the
down
Russians.
before Russian Christmas or before the Three
Well-
Kings pass, and I can attest that.
Well, what if
the
you're not
two-
Russian?
The two times I took it down, and the one time I took it down on New Year's Eve, I had a terrible year. I almost died. The
Oh
second
my.
time was this past year, and my dad almost died. And I took it down the day before Russian Christmas. Never again. That
That
thing
is
will
why you
stay.
leave tree up till at least the 7th.
That's
leave
right.
leave tree up.
Leave
Don't
tree
take
up.
down.
What if you never
I
put one
love
up?
the Russian accent. I love Russian.
Yeah, I wanted
I always wanted to learn Russian.
when that new
was
Black
the
Widow
only
opened her
one.
mouth, I wasn't into her. I'm like, she ain't that good looking. And she opened her mouth. I was like, I'm kind of into her now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
so-
Irish accent.
Yelena Belova. No,
Yeah,
well, the
Yelena
Irish
Belova.
accent, she was like, it's not.
So I like
attractive.
a girl who
Becky Lynch's accent is not attractive.
See, on a man, that is
Okay,
hella-
see, maybe
I'm into it.
that would be for me. It would be Russian, Irish.
Do you ever hear an Irish girl sing?
Yeah, but you know how like when
Oh.
people sing, they don't sound
No,
like
when they
their
sing,
accent.
when they sing and they do like the shanty style songs.
Oh, I have no idea.
Forget 'em.
I don't want to hear that.
It's awesome. I'll play it after we're done here. The network support us. We are all live this Thursday for our last episode of the year. Right? Is this the Sunday? Is Sunday still? the new
Sunday's
year?
the first.
Oh, so our last podcast of the year will be this Thursday for Tornado Tech Podcast.
Mhm.
We're going to be doing our TT awards. We're
Yeah.
going to
Like
crown
best of.
the best of
Yes.
the years when it comes to professional wrestling in what you would say mainstream wrestling and independent wrestling.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then starting next year, we'll be starting the guest up. So we have some guests lined up for the new year for Tornado Tag. If you want to be a guest on this show or any of the other ones, just check out our link tree and show that support. We love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us this entire year for season 1. We'll come back season 2 and have some fun things. I think we're gonna start the new year off with
Ghost stories.
some ghost stories. We're gonna dive into some cool ghost stories. But
There's
that-
plenty of them.
we have a ton to go through. So thank you guys so much. If you're
Yep.
like I said, if you're watching along, share. If you're listening, review. Give us even if you're still watching, go to an audio platform and hit follow and give us a review.
Mhm.
Help us out. It goes a long way. We'll see you guys next time. Truth Behind Illusion. We're out of here.